The views expressed on this Turnbuckle Tabloid live stream or Turnbuckle Tabloid podcast episode do not reflect the views, thoughts, or opinions of the Rageworks brand, including the Rageworks podcast network, Rageworks content partners, advertisers, and affiliates. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Lee Walker, Sportskeeda journalist and your host of Perched on the Top Rope. And I am here today on the Turnbuckle Tabloid.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
Yo, this is Gabe Sky, and you're listening to Turnbuckle Tabloid.
Give me that fucking mic! Turnbuckle Tabloid, cutting a promo.
Yeah, I know, like, it was a struggle last week. It was, just to have that conversation. The premise of it is just to say that if she's uncomfortable with what's going on, put a lucha mask on her. You know, I'm not saying to do it, but it's an idea. It's a pitch. And
you never said, oh, she's ugly, she needs to wear it.
No.
You said it helps her until she resolves the
right.
issue.
And it'd be gimmick wise also. She could sell fucking merch off of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's the one thing that I remember reading years ago when it came to Cody doing Stardust.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't pleased with it.
Yeah.
But he also said, he's like, it's another check in my bank account because now I have another item that's on sale, another merch. You think about it. When it came to
Did they make masks?
No, but you got the shirts, the figures.
Right.
You know, those stuff. Like you
would have figured with the face paint that they would have made a mask or like something like that.
I don't think they did though, but even still,
I think Goldust had something similar.
Like, how many variations of Cody Rhodes are there in WWE when it comes to the action figures? Like, there's like 5.
How many variations of them are in the current video game?
Right. So, you know, he that's how he embraced it. He goes, you know, it's just it's another check.
I guess, yeah.
And then once again, he embraced it. So maybe she would possibly do the same for something like that as a gimmick wise, but you know, like I said, yes, last week's episode was just enough. Any case, we're going down the road.
Wait until I'm a future guest.
Oh, jeez, I'm like, I got to find a way to formulate that. Any case, we're gonna sit here and actually give our thoughts, our opinions, our review of AEW's Revolution, and you might be surprised by certain comments that I make about it. Listen, always, guys, people, just a heads up. I'm not an AEW hater. I've been saying it for the longest. I want this company to succeed. I want there to be something to watch. I'm fine. Hell, even with their goofy new fucking logo that looks like it's part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I'm fine. It's okay. What? You said the same thing?
Yes.
It
people
does.
look at me like I'm nuts.
It does. It looks like it's from the MCU.
Yeah.
It looks like,
I mean, hell, I even took like people think like NASCAR.
Right. To me, it looks like.
Did you hear the new theme song?
That I didn't get to hear. I didn't
check out AEW music on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Because I was at the bar and I didn't get to hear.
Right, you didn't hear it.
Yeah, but nonetheless, I'm gonna say that. Yeah, well, you know what? Let's go down the line. What you have on the match card so far? What's the lineup?
So we'll get into AEW Revolution 2024, but I want to come on here because I don't know if you covered it on the show yet, but they've made the announcement that going forward, or at least for this year, 9 AEW pay-per-views in total.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
I
mean,
first, let me hear this. I'm okay with it. I like it. I like it. I like it. I think
because the other one was like the fuse. Here's the boom.
No, this one, I think it's a better theme song.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the logo.
They brought the tunnels back.
Okay, I never really cared about that. Whenever I see the tunnels, it just reminds me of old TNA. Remember when they used to have them on both sides? And
Absolutely,
such?
Yeah. I mean, that's the reason that was Young Bucks' decision.
Yeah, and like I said, the AEW Dynamite logo now, like I said, looks very mixed with Spider-Man font. Like, okay, it's simplistic.
They have the Swolverine, Brian Cage.
Oh, we'll get to that. No, we'll get to that. Well, no, not even get to it. I'll cover it quick because we're not covering Dynamite though. But I have to say, he paid good homage to Tekken. Yes, yeah, he played it.
That was the character he was. Yeah. He had Swolverine on his ass, but that wasn't the character he was.
No,
portraying.
He was King from Tekken. So that was a good homage. But other than that, like I said, the night, like you mentioned, the night pay-per-views, it's gonna be 12 altogether because you're gonna count the three Ring of Honor, four paper. Just imagine it might be 13, but yeah, most likely it'll be 12 because of the Ring of Honor pay-per-views.
In my head, I like to imagine Ring of Honor still doesn't exist.
Yeah, so that's there. But hey.
I will say for the weekly shows, at least they'll give purpose and give them a reason to like progress storylines. I mean, it also gives them. Let's see how they do.
That, and if you're doing 9, that means that every pay-per-view does not have to be a fucking WrestleMania 2-night event. It doesn't have to be fucking Wrestle Kingdom every event. You can minimize those shows and have your majors. Too is
we still have All In and All Out back-to-back weeks.
Right. Wow, that's fucking. That's really insensitive when it comes to your viewership and your followers. That's ridiculous. That's why I'm not.
It's very insensitive.
It's very insensitive. Very insensitive.
How dare you?
To their wallets, you fucking assholes. That's why I'm not buying any more of them shits. I had a good stream the last time. Fuck you. I had a good stream. Whatever.
AEW Revolution 2024.
I found a good stream.
Before you got into the stream, they had the 0 hour on YouTube.
Yeah, we could breeze through that. We also on the YouTubes, which I'm not going to say that they were horrible. They weren't, but well, go ahead.
The 12-man tag, the Bang Bang Scissor Gang against.
Okay, we could pass that shit. That fucking annoyed me.
I want to read who their opposition was.
Yeah, sure.
Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, Willie Mack. Where the fuck did he come from? Satnam Singh and our boys from House of Glory, Private Party.
That's what I said when I saw it. I went, "What a hot,
what a hot mess!
What a hodgepodge of individuals to be blended together."
Yeah. Thank God the Bang Bang Scissor Gang won. Jay White is so above this; it's not even funny.
Yeah,
He's supposed to be. He even mentioned on Diamond. He main evented 2 Tokyo Domes. He main evented the Supercard show at Madison Square Garden.
And I hate to do these comparisons, but when wrestling fans look at other companies and go, "Wow, look how the mighty are falling, look what they're doing here," but wow, Jay, shit,
they have nothing for him.
Right then and there
and he has the Ring of Honor 6-man belts for what reason?
But once again, this is one of those instances where Cole is out, MJF is out. Right now, we're looking at
Omega's out.
Omega's out. You're looking at a renaissance. Hangman is out. You have a renaissance right now of possibility making changes with the flow of the show and the roster.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, this would be the time to elevate him.
Mm-hmm.
And
you're bringing in you just debuted Will Ospreay, and on Dynamite, recording this the day of the Dynamite, Okada just debuted.
And
2 of the best professional wrestlers in the world are now in your company.
But yet I'm not hearing anyone say, "Wow, AEW has now become New Japan Light," whatever. Okay, so I'm trying to think positive. Okay, next. What do we have, Sam?
Jay, you're speaking to my soul.
Okay.
I'm surprised people are not saying, when does Tony Khan stop stealing the New Japan talent?
It's not stealing. Their rosters.
It's stealing.
It's not stealing. Their rosters already. I mean, their contracts are already up. Take the opportunity. From what has been said, Okada signed a 3-year deal for $4 million a year, so you can't walk away from that fucking money. So, and plus he has
compared to probably WWE, they would have gave him 2 and maybe $800K or less.
They'd have gave him 2 for 5 years. That's what they would probably gave him. And
good for Okada. That money. He wanted to come to the States for the money, and that's what he's going to get.
Yeah, he's going to get the money, and then he gets to be fluid. And if he wants to go back to Japan sometime, he'll have it. So.
The other 0-hour show, they had Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander defeat Julia Hart and Sky Blue. I just looked at this match and said, this company could realistically do women's tag titles and do a better job than WWE.
Don't even do it. Don't even bring that up. Don't, because Tony will fucking announce it next week. Don't even do it. No.
When you have 40 women signed to the roster and a lot of them are teams,
it's
not worth it.
No, because they're not even. They still even get their whole single shit together. Now you want to have them do managed tags? No. Slow down. Let's wait on that.
First disagreement.
Yeah.
We opened the show with Christian Cage versus Daniel Garcia.
There was only 2 matches on there.
Yeah.
Oh,
short and sweet.
I thought there was more on the card. Oh, I guess not.
I'm just for the 0 hour, I did watch it. But we start off the show with Garcia and Cage. No Copeland for the show. They saved him for Dynamite afterwards. But going into the show, I realistically thought Daniel Garcia could win.
I did as well, but at the same time, I went, nah, it's not gonna happen. Because their big match is gonna be something else.
I found out I quit in Toronto.
Yeah, it's
but does the feud really need the belt at this point? It's a blood feud at this point.
Yeah, and this is where I'm gonna say that they give Copeland his flowers and give him the title on that side because that's what Tony wants to do. Especially in Toronto. I mean, there's a whole lot of significance. They're both from their hometown. It's I get it, but I just like to build up on Dynamite for that. That was actually another fun part as well when watching Dynamite the other day. For Garcia and Cage, there's so much more they could be doing with Garcia. Like this was just a little bit. There was a weird pairing for me to see with him. Going up against Cage. It's just I didn't really like the pairing, but the match itself wasn't bad either. It wasn't bad at all.
Would you say the dance is stale at this point, or
the fans are into it? Not my cup of tea, but the fans are into it, so it's cool.
We had Christian Cage retained, obviously. Next up, I like this match a lot. Eddie Kingston and Bryan Danielson for the Continental Crown.
Cannot say enough for this match, except that there was spots in this match that was a little shoddy for me. It looked like at some points that these guys were a little bit gassed. Certain spots looked a little, let's just say, as a M2 Inc. would say, choreographed a little bit, or that it just had its low point. But at the same time, to wrap it up, yeah, they pulled no punches. Literally, they went at it for this match. I had a really good time with this match.
With Eddie Kingston retaining, after the match, we had Danielson finally give him the handshake, and it's so weird with Danielson because technically this is his last run full time, and he's being a full on heel during this entire thing. But you know what? He shook the man's hand, and then they posted a thing on the YouTube channel where they're like laughing in the trainer's room.
I don't even know about Danielson.
What's Danielson's character?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't even know about Danielson anymore. That and BCC in a whole is
what the fuck is it at this point?
I think they just, if you're gonna just tell me that they just want to fight, I'll be like, okay, fine, that I'll get. But
once they lost Regal, like all the momentum just died.
So you tell me that they need to bring somebody in that could help to redirect it,
or break up the stable. I mean, Moxley is fine on his own. Danielson's finding his own. Claudio and Wheeler Yuta you can keep as a tag team.
Right.
Also, too, where the fuck is Wheeler Yuta?
Don't bring his name up, please. I'm fine with him being where he's at. But good showing by both men. And we now have clear directions after the recent Dynamite where both of them are going. Kingston and Okada, right?
Danielson and Ospreay, right? They're not wasting any fucking time.
No, why do that?
Yeah. We had next So this is funny. Let's talk about what this match was supposed to be. The Meat Madness match.
Right.
It was supposed to be Wardlow, Archer, Cage, Hobbs, Miro, and Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Keith Lee, who is dealing with a bunch of injuries and he had double surgery. And Miro, who I think we agreement just wants to fuck out. He's had enough.
Yeah,
he just basically told Tony Khan, I am not doing this.
Well, that and he's there's been some back and forth with the understanding of is he hurt? Is he not hurt? What's his status within the company? Let's just be clear. He doesn't want to be there anymore.
Once he lost the TNT title, he's lost like all will to come to work.
But I think it's the same thing with a lot of those guys too. It's like, they realize that, the greener pastures wasn't as green as they thought it was. And, yes, he had injuries, but apparently it's not as severe. They giving you that creative has nothing for you right now. I think they killed him right out the gate when they gave him that gamer fucking gimmick when he walked in. When he should have just been
the best man.
Yeah, I think they basically solidified his fucking standard there, his status there.
But then he redeemed himself with the Redeemer stuff.
That shit was cool, but then what?
Like, he's still doing it, but now it's like then they bring in his wife, and now
he fights in the shadows. And then the other thing is, like, people were saying, well, you gotta understand too, his wife almost died because of an infection and such. Yeah. And it's like, okay, but now that's over, where are you at? What are we doing? I thought
she seems fine.
I thought this was gonna be the moment where they do the once the wrestler cries about their status moment, that they put him on TV quickly, but nope. That didn't happen at all.
Yeah, Tony just keeps him off TV.
Yeah, basically.
Just says, if you don't want to come, fine, stay home.
Yeah.
So that was what was supposed to happen. Instead, we got an 8-man all-star match. Jericho, Hobbs, Archer, Wardlow, Dante Martin, Hook, Brian Cage, and Magnus, who I had to look up him because it's not Nick Aldis. That's not that Magnus you're thinking of. It's Magnus from CMLL.
Right.
Here's my thing. I understand you want to do a working relationship with other companies. That's perfectly fine. But you're advertising an all-star match. All stars. If you want to put somebody in there like Mark Briscoe over Magnus, I would like that more.
Right.
Because when you look at this roster size, it's fucking ridiculous. And you're using other people. So stupid. And Dante Martin, you want to put him in there, fine, because it's his fucking birthday, fine. You can take a beating.
It's his birthday.
It's his birthday. It was his birthday, and they put him in the match. So Wardlow won. Meanwhile, during the fucking match, he stood outside for 10 minutes straight. You see this clip?
Yeah.
He was standing next to Adam Cole, who's in the fucking wheelchair.
Yeah.
So, you have anything to say about this? Because this was a match. The winner got a world title match, and now we find out that's going to happen in Boston.
This is what we call the lull of the night.
The piss break happened third in the show.
And everybody's like, they had their meat. They had their meat moment for the match. But to me, I had already checked out for that match early on, and I knew that Wardlow was going to win anyway. So, and
also after that promo he cut last week, where he basically shouted out CM Punk, there was no way he was going to lose this. The Undisputed Kingdom needed this.
Yeah, but
Just like they needed the next match, which was Orange Cassidy versus Roderick Strong for the International Championship.
oh god, thank goodness I got the outcome I wanted. Shit.
Roderick Strong and his weird looking mustache.
It's
a look.
It's a look, all right. Oh, it's also like fucking getting tattooed on your face is a look.
You saw the Tony Khan tattoo?
Oh Jesus, yeah. Who the hell would do that? Awful.
I would if I had to get a tattoo of a promoter, I'd put it right above my ass cheeks.
But a tramp stamp.
Yeah.
I
What was we were at a show the other day, and there's one we were talking about. There's one part of our body we would never put anything with our lower back.
Yeah, the tramp stamp. It's like no. We're not no. And then one thing for sure that when it comes to tattoos, me being a person who has the ones on their body here,
The ones you could see.
Yeah. Portraits are very, very intricate and detailed and personalized.
Right.
That's why I don't have one on me, because I would need to find somebody who is beyond top tier to do them. Mm-hmm. You just don't go to anybody and say, get me a picture of this guy on my body. And for Tony,
9 times out of 10, it looks awful.
Oh God. I watch Ink Master and I see these are professionals. And even theirs, you'd be like, woof. Like, what the fuck is that?
I think just a picture of anything is not a good idea to tattoo on your body.
Well, a portrait
of like a person.
Yeah, there's just
that's the one thing you shouldn't get tattooed on yourself.
But yeah, then that one is difficult because you got Tony Khan and do his kind of hair and no,
they got the goofy eyes and the teeth.
Oh God, no! Like, you know what, dude? Yeah, it wasn't in the commercial for Snickers Regerts. There you go. That's what that is. As for Roderick and Cassidy, not a bad match. Like I said,
is Cassidy like? Are we at the point where I can ask you?
I've been saying it a year ago. We need to stop this shit already with him. Well, he needs to move away from that gimmick.
But as far as like in ring stuff, like he's showing he has.
He always can.
Right.
I've never said he was a bad wrestler.
As far as the gimmick,
shit.
It's not being shown as like much as it was like when AEW first started.
I want to see him do something different. I know the fan base is like, "Whoa, did Honky Tonk Man ever change his gimmick?" He's him too. He should have moved on from it as well. But he wasn't Honky Tonk Man until he got into fucking WWE, well, WWF at the time.
And look at him now. He's still the goddamn Honky Tonk Man.
I mean, that's what's paying the bills these days. But with Cassidy,
True.
It's like, I know the fans love it. It's their niche right now. And it's been for the past 7-8 years he's been doing it. Mm-hmm. But I want to see him do something different. I want to see something more from him. Ring wise, like I said, the guy could go. And then we saw it tonight with that match with Roddy. I just hate the stupid corny shit. But other than that, the guy could work.
So the headline was not even anything in this match. It was after the match because we had a return. Kyle O'Reilly.
I didn't know who the fuck that was when they went in the ring.
It took a second because he grew his hair out. He didn't shave, but it was Kyle O'Reilly.
He hadn't been in the ring since 2022. Like, shit, it's been that long. Damn.
I think he was dealing with a back injury too. The same thing with Orton.
Yeah, he has back injuries. He has
knees,
and I think he's also type 2 diabetes or something like that. So yeah, that's oof.
Came out. The Kingdom got very worried, but Kyle said, it's all right. And he hugged his former Undisputed Era buddy, congratulating him. But he refused to take a shirt. So
are we going to start hearing O'Reilly? Are we going to start hearing him start screaming? Are we going to start hearing him screaming that shit?
No, we're going to hear, with Roddy.
Yeah.
No, he's going to be screaming Kyle.
Oh, okay.
Because he only screams first names. So stupid. FTR versus Moxley and Claudio. Moxley and Claudio came out like the Road Warriors.
Yeah, I thought it was
a nice little tribute.
I thought it was kind of cool. I thought it was funny, but
overall, what you think?
I thought their match on Dynamite was better.
The draw.
Yeah, I thought that match was better. Wow, when we talk about FTR right now, woof. Do you think that they're sitting there and they're actually getting
Well, Cash is about to go to trial because that shit's going on in Florida.
Oh, but he's gonna beat that shit. That's nothing.
But that's kind of affecting his on-screen stuff. Right? They took the loss here,
but they've been taking losses like a lot lately, and
they've been exclusive to Collision.
I don't know.
See them that much on Dynamite anymore.
Do you think that they quietly getting punished because of their alignment with Punk? Like, you think
a little bit,
right? You think so, right?
I mean, Dax wouldn't shut his fucking mouth about his best friend CM Punk.
Yeah. Talk about guys who probably fucking regret resigning.
They probably regret signing that 3-year deal and declaring that once the deal's up, they retire.
Yeah, I don't see that happening though. I don't see them retiring.
Those silly gooses. Never say anything out loud.
Wrestlers never retire anyway. So Funk is dead, and he still didn't retire. He's still out. He's still somewhere
taking
wrestling.
bookings.
Yeah, he's still taking bumps somewhere.
With this match too, with regards to what happens in the main event, you would think FTR would get the win here because they're going to do a tournament to crown new tag champions. But no, Moxley and Claudio got the win.
Yeah, I'm of the persuasion to say that like I said, with Blackpool, they're in a
weird position because I think I mentioned this too on the show. Are they heels or are they baby faces?
Once again, they're in a weird limbo.
They're also feuding with CMLL.
Why?
They're about to work their big show at the end of the month too. Danielson and Yuta.
This is why I said that this AEW has like its certain points where you sit there and you go, "The fuck are you doing?" To me, Crisis is an overhaul in AEW right now. They don't need.
There's no clear baby faces or heels.
And not only that, with all that they have already on the roster, with all the individuals that they have there, why are you having so many alliances with other promotions? Like, you have so much talent on that roster that you could use right now, and you're doing.
That was my issue with the All-Star thing.
Right.
You have all these people on your roster, and you're using guys like Magnus.
Yeah, it's too many.
You can't just slide it. Not even like you can't even put like Jeff Jarrett in the fucking match for like a little spot with Chris Jericho.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't understand.
Jay White couldn't be in that match. Like, what the hell?
You know what? It's funny that I even forgot that Jericho was in that match as well. I totally forgot that shit.
That just shows you how far he's fallen.
Listen, he's got a check. He doesn't give a fuck.
I mean, not for nothing. The dude also said like weeks ago, like, I'm taking a break, and he's immediately back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That he's just,
and now they're teasing something him and Hook.
Yeah, I saw that on Dynamite, and I go,
uh-oh.
Why is it that he's always attaching himself to these young guys? Like, what the fuck, Jericho? Weirdo.
You put over Action Andretti. Look how good that went for him.
But for this match, like I said, I thought the Dynamite match was the better one. Not to say that this was bad. It wasn't bad. It's just Dynamite was better.
You can't have a bad match with FTR.
No, but
Claudio is an excellent wrestler, and Moxley, when he's not doing his garbage wrestling or whatever the fuck he's not bleeding. He is a good wrestler.
Mox is going to be Mox. Mox is going to do whatever Mox wants to do.
Are they a favorite to win the belts? If they keep him as a team?
Yeah, I mean, are we going to see the EVPs win the belts here to start making the elite, the pristine faction again? Now Okada's with them. Maybe I can see that.
My
even
quick
more.
thoughts on that. I wish they would have came up with a different name instead of just the elite.
I mean, the Golden Elite. I don't know, man. They're
wah, wah, wah.
I don't know, but that's what they are. They're cheesy. They're corny. So, my who was it that asked me? Oh, it was Wrestling Fan Frankie. He asked me. He says, aren't they good heels? I said, no, they're good assholes.
Yeah, the assholes in real life.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That they're more believable assholes than they are fucking heels. They're more believable assholes because they're assholes.
Meanwhile, they have tons of friends.
Apparently so.
I don't know. I wanted to bring something up too because Moxley, WrestleMania weekend that week, challenging for the IWGP World Title.
Okay.
What are the chances of him actually winning the damn thing? It's him versus Naito. Now, he wins it, holds it for a few months, and then at Forbidden Door drops it. to Naito?
No, I don't see that now. I think it's Naito had just been bestowed this
For like the fifth time.
for the fifth time.
His fifth crowning moment.
But also at the same time, it's depending on him as well, because he's looked like his days are closing as well. I wouldn't be surprised if it would happen, but I don't think it would. I think this is just a dream match booking for Moxley to go up against for a title over there, for that big title. And especially against Naito. So I don't see it happening, but like I said, I wouldn't be surprised. New Japan is just so desperate over there with all the stuff that's going on with.
That's why I posed that question, because like, what if they just do
I mean, like I said,
change?
Nemeth won a title. Fucking Riddle won a title, so I wouldn't be surprised.
And one belt looks nicer than the other.
Yeah, that shitty ass TV title, Wolf.
Women's world title. This belt actually looks nice. And so do these women. Toni Storm versus Deonna Purrazzo. I will say, the highlight was Mariah May coming out dressed and looking like fucking Toni Storm. I got baited.
Yeah.
I fell for it. I was like, wait a minute. That's not. Or that is. And then also, too, I love on the Collision graphic, she's still dressed up like Toni Storm, I think.
Yeah.
I like it.
Are we?
It's a good look for her.
The only thing is, I didn't get to see if she had the ass like her.
She does.
It does. I didn't really notice.
Not compared to Tony, but she has something.
But
so does Deonna too. And you know what? Because they've been fat shaming Deonna on social media. Fuck you, people. You have no sense of. Like,
she's funny because
no class.
I don't know if it's the gear. Or if it's well, first of all, she's thick. You know, I don't give a fuck.
She's a Jersey
I
girl.
love my thicking, so it don't matter to me. But it's funny because the gear she wears makes her look heavier than she is. Because then when you
especially
look at
around
her
waist,
right, and then when you look at her and her social medias or whatever, she doesn't look big like that.
It's like the Bailey effect, but opposite.
Right. And like I said, she's a thick Jersey girl. She a fatty. She got, she got butt. And Nia too, like Nia Jax, same thing. Like Nia, she's a big girl, but the gear makes her look even bigger for some reason. And then when you see her,
she looks like she's slimmer.
I've always said that on her social, she looks slim. She looks slimmer, but even now, like WWE, her gear makes her look bigger though. I don't know I don't know if they pad. I don't know what the fuck they do.
I remember when she debuted at NXT. I don't know if you remember this,
Mm-hmm.
but she came out like in the same exact outfit, but it was bright blue,
Mm-hmm.
and that was like it showed like way too much of her. Like, I'm not trying to be like insensitive, but it made it like really big.
Yeah. No, she did.
And then
not
when she changed it to black, she looks way more slimmer.
Yeah, and the same used to go with when Jordan Grace was going through her transformation and she would wear the full singlet look, that outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Like when she was going through her bodybuilding looks, she still looked big, like in her stomach area.
Right.
But then when you see on her social, she's got fucking abs, and it's like, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on here? Then
she was hiding under the gear, and now look at her.
Now she's got the cut, or whatever. I still like big Jordan Grace though. I'm a big big mama pump guy. So any case,
I mean, look at her now. She's big mama, but not for nothing. If you put a Bane mask on her fucking face, she could be Bane.
Exactly.
That's how big she is, people. If you're not looking at her social media, you know what? It's her decision what she wants to do with her body. It's just that from when she went from big Jordan to like high pitched voice to low pitched voice, muscular Jordan. Like there's a lot of questions going. A lot of questions going on, Miss Jordan.
Right,
respectfully.
But time.
Notice we're talking about this because the crowd was quiet. They didn't care.
Yeah, I think they were the air was taken out of them with the tag team match, but at the same time, it wasn't a bad match though. How
many matches deep are we in?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. This was the 5th match
of the
show, and the crowd came for one thing, and that was the main event. So
right.
So unfortunately, the women got a dead crowd, and also too, You had the timeout, like you said, and they had a return, so they were already like they blew their load.
And I like the, you know, and even for this match, like I said, it wasn't a bad match. The finish was, you know, of course, what it was. AEW still frustrates me with the fact, like, there's no such thing as disqualifications. You know what? It's fucking part of wrestling, dude. Like,
Leniency, Jay.
Let's get into it. But in any case, not to take anything away from this match, it actually was a good match between these two women.
And Deonna, unfortunately, is the next woman that falls to you debut, you get a couple of wins, you go for the title, and then you lose.
Yes.
But you gotta hope.
Is the timeless look still over? Yes. I still mess with it. She works the gimmick well.
And we hope Jamie Hayter is on her way back, and they're in Boston. If the boss does not come out or show up,
they're in Boston.
You're gonna hear us laugh on this show.
They're in Boston.
There's a dollar sign in the big business logo.
Right,
dumbasses. So as I said, the crowd was dead, but they woke the fuck up for Will Ospreay versus Konosuke Takeshita. Holy shit! I would say watch this match, but there's two spots we need to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
The suplex in the corner.
Oof, yeah.
Takeshita got Ospreay for a suplex and dropped that motherfucker right on his head.
Yep.
And then Ospreay said, well, I'm going to give you a tiger driver suplex and drop you on your head.
Yeah.
It's 2024. Can we not drop people on their heads?
If there's anything that I could say about this match, without those two spots, this match
perfect.
This match would have been perfect. I was happy with it. Takeshita is like, he's already there. He's a star. The kid he's got it.
Future world champion, would you say?
Possibly. He's got some title in a line coming his way.
The Continental, the International, one of those he has to win first. At least do a solid run with that before the world. But I will say, Ospreay was over. For the people that said nobody knows who he is, but you know what? These are wrestling fans.
No, these are wrestling purists.
These are the diehard wrestling fans.
Yeah, so they'll know that
that's wrestling country. So they appreciated Ospreay a lot.
This is why Okada didn't get like a package for like Dynamite and stuff like that. He just
walked out.
Yeah,
you hear the coin drop and people got nuts. Nuts. But for the people that are probably tuning in, thinking, what's the big deal with this dude? But when Ospreay came out, this guy screams top babyface.
Yeah. Well, now, I always love the bruv when he's a heel.
Or the bruv, the amount of bruvs he said during his promo battle with Jericho.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that as a face that he's still able to translate and transition that over that kind of charisma. But match wise, he's always worked like one anyway. So he knows how to because that's what his moveset is. But other than that,
his
this
finish
match
is that fucking swinging forearm right to the back of the head or the front of the face.
By the way, I've already dived into the community creations. I haven't downloaded anything yet in 2K24.
Have you seen any gems?
Oh my god, someone we made an Ospreay. He looks fantastic. I'm like, holy shit! I was ready to download that shit. But
I always laugh at the ones where they use the image upload and they just put like a picture of Ospreay, but it's like a picture of him smiling, so his teeth like on his lips.
Oh god, no.
Those are the best ones.
No, I want the ones that they don't that is not the overlay as the face template. Mm-hmm. That is just someone actually just probably used it and then worked around it. That's what I like. But yeah, this match would be. To me, this was my match of the night. Honestly.
Oh yeah, at this point, this was definitely the match of the match of the show.
Yeah.
What did you think of Ospreay's media scrum? I appreciated the fact where he said, like, listen, I'm still learning as I'm going to be doing TV every week. If I fuck up, I want to hear you tell me
Yeah. That, but, with him.
Would you say that's like something like he just wants to please the critics? Or that's something he like honestly feels?
No, I think he's a wrestling guy. Like, he is smarting up to the business and he knows it. And you could see in, the matches that he has, because he whenever you watch him, like excuse me, when you watch him in Japan, he knows to do the Japan stuff.
Correct.
When he goes to England and like the Rev Pro kind of stuff, he knows how to do that stuff. Mm-hmm. Then in here, he's acclimating himself to learn this side as well. Like I said, even with his All In match, I actually me and Good Dad Angel, we actually thought that it was his possible WWE audition tape because he worked nicely that way as well. So I think he's a student of the game and is working on it.
He's also said one of his 3 goals is to retire Billy Gunn. So I'm looking forward to a Will Ospreay Billy Gunn match in the future.
Next up,
here we go. World title. Joe, Page, Swerve. Going into this, I thought it was going to be too soon for Swerve to win because Joe won it at the end of the year. I would like to see Joe have a decent run with the belt, at least give him 6 months with it, because you know what? The guy's a great promo. Comes off like a legit badass, like I tried to tell your boy, Reem, but the microphone was not working. He didn't hear that.
Oh.
He heard what he wants to hear.
Oh, okay.
Respectfully. Shout out to him. I like him. No disrespect. But, yeah, the basic story of this whole match was Hangman did everything in his goddamn power to make sure Swerve did not win. When Swerve hit the double stomp off the top, Hangman beat the shit out of the referee. He was like, no, you are not counting this. Like, one after another. And Joe choked him out with the cocaine in the clutch.
I thought the best part of this match was Joe being Joe, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, we got the
flying corner where he walks away is always the best spot.
Now that since it's gotten so much social media love, has now become a constant thing. But
Shout out to that one jobber where he jumped off and he's looking at Joe. Oh, what the hell?
And then the most telling was the end, the finish of the match where Paige tapped out.
Yes,
basically just saying like,
"Fuck it,
yeah,
fuck you, Swerve.
You're not getting this match."
Yep.
That
was the purpose of the whole match too.
Right. So are they going to continue to Swerve Hangman shit until Hangman comes when he comes back, or?
Yeah, because we saw in Dynamite Swerve did technically turn full on babyface.
Yeah, I mean,
now we don't know what the deal Hangman is because I looked at this match weirdly in the sense of like Brett and Austin, where they did a double turn in that match.
Right.
People argued they did a double turn weeks ago, but that match was clear. Brett turns heel and Austin turns babyface. Just that in this match, Joe was like the middleman, and then you had Hangman kind of turn heel, and you had Swerve go on full on babyface.
Well, yeah, especially now that when we watched it on Dynamite, that Joe basically didn't get any burn during that match, and it's like
Swerve worked the whole.
He looked at him like
himself.
Which, by the way, listen, I can honestly say I've seen Swerve early on. Like, right. I remember when House of Glory was in the boxing gym, and he was in that tournament. I remember him back in the days, and look wise, he was $105 wet. Like he would have to carry like buckshot in his pockets to fucking make him heavier. Yeah. And the transformation that he's gone from that, and then to ring wise, like.
He's on a fucking roll.
I mean, this is a tear out of if there's not. And if there's anything right now that Triple H is doing right now, he's biting on his fucking fist going, fuck, why would I? But I think that it's not going to be in the same level, but I think in
WWE, he definitely had a standard where he was definitely going to be mid-card if he improved into this level.
He could have been something going on there.
Because also too, he was stuck with Hit Row. He was stuck with Top Dollar and I don't know what he was carrying them, and
I wouldn't have seen that would have held them back though. At the same time,
well, with Vince there too. Also,
that's the whole thing. The Vince factor.
Because they were going to push Top Dollar as the singles and have Swerve and Ashanti be the team.
That's hilarious. I'm just like, I know the Triple H is biting his face like motherfucker, but like I said, like I mentioned earlier. Trick Williams, Carmelo, that's going to be their redemption.
Triple H found his Swerve replacements.
Yeah, but as for this match,
Swerve too, because when Triple H reached out to him and asked him how long do you have left on your deal, and Swerve was like, "Listen, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to ride it out." And you know what? He took that chance on himself and he put in the work.
Yeah.
The first time I saw him, I thought he was just like another Ricochet ass clone, like a guy that dances in the entrance, does some cool flying stuff, but he's making me eat shit.
Nah.
This guy has shown something. And I asked Don the thing, how long until Nana turns? Because technically Nana's a babyface, but Swerve, but he still has a heel stable.
He's going to turn and go bring Ken Broadway in. You didn't see during
uttered that name on this show?
You see the promo that they did at House of Glory where Nana gives him the business card or whatever?
Yeah. Sure. Ken Broadway's all elite.
Yeah, right.
Shout out to Ken, but oh God.
That would be something everybody gonna be like, who?
Then you're gonna have O'Shea Jackson back. Who the fuck is this guy?
And lastly, for the main event,
the thing that sold out this show, let's give them credit too. We mocked them, or they have had trouble selling out arenas in the past couple of weeks.
But this was a gimme. Of course, you're gonna do this at fucking.
This was the only thing they announced. Well, they technically just announced Sting's last match, and they sold 16,000.
This is a gimme. This is in WCW country. Of course, this was gonna happen.
Sting and Darby versus Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the AEW EVP.
Okay, so I want to go through this bit
slowly.
By bit. Yeah, bit by bit. First of all, the opening montage in which they had where they had the Sting in the theater and stuff like that and all that, right? Okay.
Love it.
I loved it. I thought it was great. For all you people who are upset with WWE because
petty
that didn't get it. Okay. Mike and I had a conversation about this and we were like,
we're in full agreement.
First of all, did AEW even ask? Nobody even knows. Nobody even knows if they even asked for footage, right? Number two,
if you wanted to do something,
you think you're just gonna get it for fucking free?
Mind you, how long has WWE owned this WCW footage for? Over 20 fucking years.
And you think you were just gonna get this like,
oh, here you go. Use this on your shows to make some money.
Why did they have TNA Impact footage?
I
don't think so.
I don't think they reached out to TNA.
Think so. Yeah.
Tony Khan did not reach out to anybody. They just used Noah's shit.
Right.
And Japan stuff, which is fine, but that's not really Sting's whole career. But the thing is, WWE has had this footage for, like I said, 20 years, since 2001 when they bought this, when WCW
was bought out. So
yeah. And what did I tell you? Not for nothing. If Tony wanted to do something with the footage, contact the bald assholes and make a deal.
Right.
Say, you know what? If we can have Sting's footage, I'll give you Dustin Rhodes for a rental for like if you want to do something with him in Mania. Have him show up like WWE, with no legal issue.
WWE didn't have any issues with doing something. Remember when they had
Bernie Lee Jr.?
They had Christian Cage pull up when he was in WWE. He went to TNA for, I believe it was like a Hall of Fame or something of that. Right?
They did a trade.
Right.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Because Christian was the Intercontinental Champion.
Right. So there was no.
Do you remember what they traded him for?
No.
Ric Flair going into the Hall of Fame.
Right. So
and Christian was like, "Fuck you! I don't want to go back."
Right. So I don't.
It's not pettiness, people. It's just that
it's business.
Yeah,
it's business.
Contact Tony. Tweet at Tony. Said, "Why don't you pony up and say, you know what? If you want the footage, pay for it. Or at least do, like I said, like make an agreement of something."
Well, even your take was the hey, we'll give you footage. Give us Dustin for the Cody match.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Or at least just let us show him on TV without any legal ramification.
Right. So that'll be cool. But come on, guys, stop it. Just petty bullshit. Nobody's fucking. It's fucking business, guys.
Yeah. It's not like shit, but just sitting there going, "I have Sting's footage.
Right.
You can't use it. Fuck you."
But even the discussion about having legends that are under their contract and like, well, this person can't go. DDP was there.
Lex Luger.
Luger was there.
Magnum TA.
Magnum was there.
Nikita Koloff.
I don't know if they have any. I don't think they're exclusive to WWE.
Oh, but, no, Nikita, no.
No, but like DDP.
He's gonna be in the new video game, but
right.
They went there because they wanted to show love to Sting, and
even
that's
still.
And Tony's like, that's fine.
And even still, RVD hasn't been with WWE for how long? And he's in the game, and he's in AEW
he has
right now.
Legends deal with WWE, and WWE's not putting up a fucking fight with RVD.
Yeah,
because you know what, Jay, what's all these wrestlers at the end of the day? independent contractors.
Right.
They can do whatever the hell they want.
So
unless you're exclusively signed to WWE,
and
where you can't do anything.
And that's what Kevin Nash was. His whole thing is like, dude, I'm with WWE. He's a business guy. He's a loyalist.
I will say he did give a silly reason where he said if they put my name on the thing and they say making AEW debut, he didn't want that.
But that's not But even still,
that was silly for him to say. It was like why would Tony do that?
He just didn't want to go, which is fine. I mean, it's okay. But even his thought about it as well. Like, listen, I'm a WWE guy. I'm
loyal to a fault.
How did I phrase it? It was like it's different, like with sports, to where, like, if you want to make Jackie Robinson Day universal because he was such a great testament to sports. But at the same time, you're not going to put fucking Michael Jordan's jersey hanging in the Lakers fucking arena and because he played them and beat them a lot. Like,
right.
It's they're competitors. So in certain aspects, you're not going to have individuals around for that because it's like, no, that's not my team. I'm not.
So let me ask you.
There.
So when Michael Jordan went to go play baseball for a year and stuff, after that, if the NBA wanted to do like a video package on Michael Jordan or whatever the hell they were going to do, like Michael Jordan Day, if they wanted to contact MLB and ask them for the Michael Jordan footage, would that be like a equivalent?
Yeah, you could ask. Not they're going to say if they're going to give it to him, but if
they wanted to show like what happened when
he played for the Barons and shit like that, right? Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like that the same way.
Yeah.
But I guess it's semantics.
There's
guys.
no pettiness here.
Yeah, it's not being petty. It's just the game has opened up a little bit more the past couple of years when it comes to that. Now it's a little bit more business.
I was about to say, just at the end of the day, it's all business. So we had the video, we had Sting do that, and then we had his sons.
So Surfer Sting comes out, right?
Yeah.
And everyone popped because it was like, holy shit.
His kids are fucking insane. Insane looking where they look like their dad from the old school Sting.
Right.
And then Wolfpack Sting walked out.
And then we went,
oh my God.
No. Was that a wig or was that his hair?
I think that was a wig.
It might be. It might have been.
Because I don't remember. Because when they showed the sons a couple weeks ago, they both had short hair.
Right. So I'm
and you can't grow long hair that fast.
Yeah, you're right. I'm like, that's a wig, right? Because I don't remember his son having hair like that.
Also, the gear fit too.
Right. But when you saw the second Sting, the Wolfpack Sting, he was like, oh, okay, I get it. Then finally, Sting comes out, and of course, humongous pop. It was
I love Sting. Like he had the tag belt, like it wasn't around his waist. He was like carrying it.
I've always said that like for guys like that, I like when Bray had the title or Fiend had the title, I would have never had them drape it over the shoulder. I would have had them drag it. Like, this is just a piece of nothing for me. Like, this is just my whole purpose is to go in the ring and just fight. Like, fuck this.
The last title Bray had, I think it was like around his neck.
Yeah, like I wouldn't. That I would probably. I would have just.
How'd you feel when Roman like carried it over his shoulder?
Oh, it's fine, yeah, but that's Roman. You know, he's a fucking narcissist. But
so we had the entrances.
That was fine, and then we get the kickoff of the match, and Jesus. We mentioned
which spot do we talk about first?
I just want to go quickly with how the Suns that they just shit the bed when they did the splashes.
I tell you yesterday, they jumped a little too. It's like you try to jump in the pool and then you get stuck. You premature jump at the end of the board,
right?
And they barely connected on those stinger splashes.
You were a little bit. Let me tell you something. I haven't done gymnastics in years. I haven't done it since fucking I was in junior high school. But yet the body still has some kind of muscle memory. Like, I believe I could probably still do a cartwheel. Maybe. If not,
I would love to see you do a fucking cartwheel.
Fairly decently. I believe I could still pull one out. Okay. I'll do a round off. I believe I can. I think I could have run towards the turnbuckle and leapt on a young buck and nailed it better than they did. They were shy off. Like, it
was funny because I was watching this. So, quick little story. So, when I was younger, they used to have this like place where like there was like gymnastic stuff. You jump off stuff or jump off on the beams and stuff. So, I'm at a birthday party about to jump, jump into a foam pit.
Right.
It's like a bouncy thing. It's like it's the Olympics.
Yeah.
So I'm running. I jump on it, but I don't jump like immediately. I land on it. I jump on it, and then just go face first into the foam pit. That was what these things' sons basically did, where they jumped premature in the middle of the ring, where the first Surfer Sting son basically landed with his head against one of the Bucks, and then the other one almost jumped over them.
Yeah, it was like, guys,
slow down.
Yeah, relax. I know you're excited. Slow down. Speaking of which, and this is when the
Darby had to do Darby.
Fucking shit happens where panes of glass come out.
Mm-hmm.
Was this fake glass? Doesn't even fucking matter. Because apparently it wasn't, because this fucking guy was
I bet
cut
the people that
up.
night were having a field day with the Punk tweets.
You know, okay.
So let's talk about the spot.
I come from the era of, you know, the hardcore shit that happened. You know, we had the ECWs. We had, of course, Foley being thrown off the Hell in a Cell and all that. Right. All right, I get it. Even with that, and especially when it came to the Mick Foley thing, or the Hell in a Cell, even Vince went to Mick and said,
I never want to see you do that again.
Thank you for what you've done for the business tonight, but I never want to see you do that again.
Okay.
Darby, this is just...
I love you. Knock it the fuck off.
And like I said, I don't think this kid... I think he's mentioned that he doesn't see himself in the business for too long. And you're showing it. I think he wants to go out.
He has a bright future. He could be like a future world champion.
He's fucking money. Like, this kid is money.
His size, he's AEW's equivalent to Rey Mysterio in the sense of like he's small enough.
He's Rey.
He's that
hardy.
classic underdog.
Yeah, he's Rey. He's Hardy. He's Mick. He's all that, all rolled into one.
Yeah.
You know, especially like you see when he runs the ropes and he goes through and he toe-pays through the ropes and he slams up against a person and stuff like that.
Looks great.
People even say who's taking that they said, I don't barely feel him. He just looks like it's hard, but he knows the business. He knows what he's doing.
When people get mad at Jim Cornette, not for nothing, Jim Cornette looks at this kid and goes, this kid could be a star if he just knocks it the fuck off.
Right. And I said it for the longest that
with the right direction and the right booking,
he has perfect underdog like vibes.
Right.
And
you don't want to boo him. There's nothing this kid could do that you can make him want to boo unless like he hits a child.
So he climbs the ladder.
Tallest ladder, of course.
Has the young buck prepped on the glass. Finally.
Mind you, the ladder's in the ring.
Right. Swanson's off of it. And like
lands on 4 chairs with a glass panel on it. Glass goes flying. He crashes and burns because the young buck grabbed his brother off it.
I think it was Jonathan Coachman. He said it. He says, you know, 1 inch off, you're paralyzed for life.
You're dead.
You know, this is ridiculous. And then the abrasion and the fucking
his arm, his whole left or right,
whatever the left side
of it was
on his back and all. And I'm like, that shit grew fucking fast. I thought that his shoulder came out of place. I don't know what the fuck was going on. And then for them to say that he only had gotten 12 stitches, I'm like, fuck off. There's no way that was only fucking 12 stitches. He
showed up on Dynamite with a little bandage on his arm, like a little boo-boo.
I get the fuck. That shit on his back was like ridiculous. Like, fuck off.
It's ridiculous.
I've never been.
I sent you videos on Instagram, and half of them are like bullshit ones where people like break their ankles or break their arms doing skateboard tricks. This dude fell off like a 25-foot ladder through a glass, 4 chairs and a glass panel,
and
12 stitches and a boo-boo.
6 chairs on a back bump. Like,
mind you, the one he did against Jeff Hardy, where it was like 6 chairs and there was nothing, they're lined up back to back. That was like equally worse compared to this.
And I'm sitting and I'm still going like, it's not necessary.
A few inches off, he could have hit that fucking ground. Went smack.
It's not necessary. It's not needed. This match could have been, like, for instance, when the fuck do we know Sting to go through fucking tables before AEW? This is not his thing. Like,
maybe in the 2000s when he didn't give a fuck.
No, not even. Like, I don't even
remember.
remember.
No, there was a few.
Where, in TNA?
No, in WCW. Like The Wall and Vampire, like those types of people that put him through tables.
But this,
but not like the consistency he does here.
Like this, he's not known for this. And then the other thing is, like,
he gets up. He sells it.
Yeah, it's Super Sting. And I go, oh, fuck. I hate this shit. This is what turns me off about it.
What about the super kick spot where they super kick him? He goes down and then he immediately
popped up. He Undertaker.
Yeah.
He Undertaker.
Remember when we used to complain about
65-year-old man? Like,
remember when we used to complain about him doing his balcony dives / falls?
Right.
Where it wasn't, people would call it dives, but it was more of him gliding down on the floor to whoever it was and then to catch him.
He's a 65-year. Granted, Billy Gunn is 62, 63 years old.
And he's insane shape.
It's ridiculous. Like that's genetic.
Not natural.
He's a fucking genetic freak. That guy's got to be on the fucking gas. I don't give a nobody tells me.
That's what he got fired for in WWE.
Yeah, but at the same time, with Sting, come on, guy. This is finally we get towards after they did the knees and such like that. We finally get the win. Sting and Darby pull out the W. The knowing Sting as old school guy that he is, he rather had gone out on his back, put the Young Bucks over and such like that. But Tony didn't want that. They wanted him to stay undefeated, go out with a title because Tony's a mark. And you know what? It's fine. Like there's no hate about it. They'll just have a tournament for the titles, whatever the case may be. I still kind of believe that it's selfish of Tony to do that because as a wrestler, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go with your boots down and take that L. But it is what it is. The best part about it was that fucking, we cut him off. We didn't give him his fucking speech.
That was the best where he grabbed the mic. He's about to say something, but the copyright thing goes off, and then he goes, "Okay, hold on. They're giving me the signal."
Yeah,
and that's your final image of Sting.
Jesus,
on TV.
Christ, good job, fucking Tony.
I will say this though about the result. I understand why he won because not for nothing. This was basically Sting's redemption tour, considering how his WWE run went, how poorly that went. So I will say this: Tony Khan booked Sting better than Vince McMahon.
Oh, definitely.
So, we'll give Tony Khan a golf clap. But not even a golf clap. I'll give a big round of applause because you know what? Tony booked this guy as a legend and didn't treat him like a joke.
At the same time, it's apples and oranges because you got to think at the same time, Vince brought him in for dollars, whatever the case may be. But at the same time, you got to remember, Sting was part of a team that wanted to get WWE, WWF, out of the business. They wanted to bankrupt them. He was part of the WCW. He was part of that. So Vince always had this notion and thought of anybody who came from that side
for just being the competition.
Right. So, which is like, once again, we said business.
Yeah.
So, he would never book anybody strong that came from that way. He wouldn't do it. The only person I even got over for that time was Hogan. But remember, Hogan was WWF first. So anybody else was, they had to fight their way through that. But other than that, like I said, as far as greatest retirement match ever, I don't know.
It could be in the top 5.
I don't have any. I mean, Shawn and Flair, yeah.
But then he fucked it up when he came out of retirement.
I'll never retire. Woo!
Terry Funk,
fucking asshole.
Like we mentioned, Terry Funk, he has so many retirements.
Right, Terry had a bunch of retirement matches.
Shawn had a good retirement match until he fucked it up for the blood money.
And till he came back. Taker had one as well until he came back.
I mean, you know what? His Boneyard one, he's still retired.
Well,
he hasn't wrestled.
True. That's considered a match. Yeah, that's true.
Technically.
But other than that, like,
overall, this was a great pay-per-view, a good start for the 9 pay-per-views we're about to get this year.
Yeah, I have to say that
They did sting good.
AEW's pay-per-views,
the last 4 were bad.
they were terrible. But they usually do good business. And to start off the year, this was actually a really, really good pay-per-view for them. And like I said, you would be surprised, guys. I didn't hate on it. So other than that, much more to talk about. We have Wrestling Rundown coming up, and as well as our interview with our guy Jarren Walker. Jarren Walker returns for WWE 2K24. We discuss what's his thoughts, our impressions of our first early access to it, and much more. So guys, don't go anywhere. Stick around. Much to talk about. See you guys in a second.
This is Sean Pryor, and you're listening to Turnbuckle Tabloid.
It's Wrestling Rundown with Jay Santy.
Live from New York, it's Turnbuckle Tabloid.
I have to just say that since I don't really do open and salvo, I haven't been doing open and salvo so much because the shows have been packed and I haven't been able to share my thoughts and just what's been going on in my day-to-day life as I would usually do because it's been hectic. I have to just say that for what occurred last week on last week's episode, I'm going to say that I had a blast doing it. The guys, third announcers table, they come in. Shout out to also my godson, Sean Shinobi, who sat in for that episode as well. But with that being said, it was all over the place. It was crazy. And not apologizing for it, but I'll just have to say that I got to tighten up the ship a little bit, especially after a few rounds and we coming back from House of Glory and shit. It was just let's just say it was a rambunctious evening, to say the least. Also, I have not been able to give a eulogy to a certain woman who passed away recently. This is a woman who actually helped me to get out of a rut that I was going through in my early years. This was around when I was in my mid-20s, and I was trying to figure out what to do with myself. And I had some college underneath, under my wing, and I was working at a job. I was working for UPS, and I couldn't stand it. I hated working at that place, and I wanted something to do, even just for the time being, because I would work overnights at UPS, and then I just wanted to do something else. During middays and stuff like that. And she gave me an opportunity. I had ideas to work with inner city youth. She gave me an opportunity, an office, and I was able to put together a program under which she had already in place, and she gave me the ball and ran with it. I appreciate not only what she's done for me, but she's also she also gave my mother an opportunity to get back on her feet as well, to get back in the workforce. And, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have been able to branch out and take the program to other places and, finally land at a spot in which I met many, many friends such as Good Dad Angel, The Will, and, Uncle Fred, and of course, the woman who ended up being the mother of my child. If I wasn't given that opportunity. So for her, I want to say thank you to Sister Betty Nichols. She was, a staple in the, Bushwick area of Brooklyn. And, she was my peona because that woman didn't care who she was around. She would fart. She didn't give a fuck. But, I like to say from my family to wherever you are, we want to say thank you. And, You led a beautiful life, and then the neighborhood and the people you affected know you greatly, and they thank you as well. So with that being said, as the Norm McDonald of this segment, I am your bringing you the weekend updates, wrestling rundown. So let's just do some in-house cleaning. I just got to get some stuff out of the way. I haven't been able to really touch on some stuff for the past couple of weeks because we've been cramming some stuff. So news-wise, we had two legends who passed away about a week ago. We lost Ole Anderson, the original member of the Four Horsemen. He was also known to be a strong influence in the back of the NWA, WCW days. He was their booker and producer back there. He may have he's had some controversies and may have burned some bridges back in the day due to his belief in what the business was like at the time and didn't really believe in the progression. But with that, he was just also the staples of what became the Four Horsemen early on. I remember when I first started watching wrestling, when I first started watching wrestling, it was him, his brother, quote unquote, brother Arn, Tully, and Rick. And then JJ Dillon came in as the mouthpiece, and it just all started to be interchangeable back then. But also we lost Virgil. If you guys don't know Virgil, the man with the meat sauce, that's right. Virgil was, when I was growing up, he was the right-hand man of Ted DiBiase. He was his muscle, his bodyguard, always holding the dollars, always flashing. And we always wonder, yo, when is black dude going to end up turning on this white man? Fuck all this, man. Yo, stop being this man lackey. What the fuck you doing? And we got our opportunity, and we saw that when he was able to defeat Ted DiBiase for the $1 Million championship. He went on to go to WCW and become Vincent over there. It's funny because they each company played off on a certain name. They named him Virgil after Dusty Rhodes' real name. And when he went to WCW, they named him Vincent because of Vince McMahon. So yeah, but the man knew his hustle all through those years, man. I'm telling you right now, if you ain't know Mr. Meat Sauce himself, that man was at any venue he could, selling autographs, taking pictures. There was even a picture. There was even a spot he was taking pictures at in the train station. My man knew the grind. He wasn't playing no games. Excuse me while I bring up my rings. So yeah, that man played no games. His hustle was real, Jack. And we lost him at such a young age as well. So condolences goes out to the Vincent and the Anderson, because he wasn't really an Anderson, but you know what I mean. Just quickly, I know I spoke about this with the guys last week on with the third announcers table, but the O'Shea Jackson comments about AEW, I just want to quickly say that he had a point. And funny that people got upset about that, but yeah, it's once again, you guys are not doing any build-ups to anyone because you expect everyone in that circle only to know that that individual, that gimmick, or who these persons are. And it showed this past week because people didn't know that Okada was going to show up. They know he's going to pop up, and the ratings showed it. This past week, I think they did just shy of 780,000 viewers, and that's low for them. They usually around the 830, 840 marks. And for them to come out of a pay-per-view only to be at that mark, that's not a good thing. If you would have probably promoted that Okada was going to make his debut and then have him turn the way that he did, you'd have probably got a bigger number for that. But yeah, I don't know, guys. The chairman himself, Sean Spears, makes a return to WWE. Who saw that coming, right? Crazy. And with that being said, there's also talk of Tama Tonga signing with the WWE. He finished his contract with New Japan, and there was talks of whether or not if he was going to go with AEW or go to WWE, but it looks as though the bloodline is going to get bigger with that signing, so that's it's a good look. Speaking of another good look, looks like it seems that Drew McIntyre did resign. Okay, that's a bonus there. I would have not want to see him go anywhere else. And I think right now, the way that the booking has been happening and what could possibly occur with the return of Punk and such, how those variables could play out, I think that there's a lot there to benefit him. AEW gives out debuted a new logo and a new presentation with their stage. It's not bad. It's okay. Like I said, it just gives me MCU vibe. It looks like something from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The staging area, the arena, the ring looks okay. I don't care about the dual tunnels at this point right now. It really doesn't mean anything. But you know, it's moving forward. It's progressive. Listen, and I'm going to say this because I'm not sure if I even have time to say, and I said it earlier in the show. I was at the bar watching AEW Dynamite, and this is why I said I'm shocked at what the ratings that they got this week. The show wasn't bad. It was actually good. I was entertained by it. It's been a while that I could watch a Dynamite and feel as though that it's not like I'm dragging myself through quicksand to get through it. Like I really felt like there's some possibility here. So I think that it's a good thing. It's something for the up and up for them. But guys got to do better with your announcements and with your booking, man. It's unfortunate. This past week, we saw video footage of Maxine Dupree getting booed at a live event. I have to say this, and you know, it was posted in the group page, and I think it was the Will who made a comment that he was like, "Well, when you make it to the big show, you have to be tightened up." And I'm like, "Well, she was at a live event, and at the live event is where they work out their stuff, where they work out matches and how to get in the ring when you're at live events, so that when you go on TV, you know, you're ready for prime time." And it seems as though that they're slowly progressing her through it. But at the same time, you know, you hear her background is that she was like a model. I'm not even sure if she was a fitness model or something, but she was like a model, and she got into the business and they liked her look or whatever. So if she was just going to be like a valet kind of thing, and then, you know, you get her reps in the ring, before she starts going to live events, I can see that. But, I don't know what's the end game with her. I'm hoping that she'll be able to, you know, fight through it. You know, I know a lot of the women on the roster were supporting her through this because, you know, some of them have been there before as well. But it's at this moment right now to where it's like, you got to start tightening it up. But also at the same time, fans, like, yeah, they could be fucking harsh, dude. Like, honestly, they could be fucking bad. It looks like Vikingo is going to be out of wrestling for some time due to an injury. Believes he tore his ACL as well. Listen, we love to see his work. We love to see the craziness that he does in the ring, but it comes with these, you know, these casualties. This is what occurs. This is what becomes the method of the beast when it comes to being that high flyer, dangerous risk taker. You know, you're gonna see these injuries. So hopefully he's not going to be out for too long. I know he was supposed to be at a House of Glory event. Guess he's not going to make that. So they're going to have to sign somebody quick for that. But we shall see. We all know that The Rock got all his trademarks. It was like a list of them shits. Like, it was just, oof. I don't know if WWE let them lapse or they just said, fuck it, you could take them, they're yours, so take us. So we'll be hearing all these catchphrases and such. What's going on with Miro? It seems as though that Miro had been cleared to wrestle. He had some injuries due, and I believe he said September. People were asking why wouldn't he have been in that Meat Madness kind of match, and they said that he and Keith Lee were out due to injury. And Miro was like, no, I was injured in September and then kind of got cleared in January, but nobody's asking me questions. I think this guy's waiting for his time to lapse, and he'll be wanting to go back to WWE as well. He's on that train. I know his wife, almost died due to an infection in her hand, but even still, like, he was able to make the comeback. He could have been there, but I don't know, man. People were upset that WWE didn't give AEW distinct footage, seeing as though that WWE owns the majority of his footage from when Mid-South, WCW, NWA. I mean, two things. From what I know, number one, I don't think AEW asked. And number two, WWE, it's a business. If you want something, you got to pay for it. So pay for the footage. You got the money, pay for it. You could tell that they didn't pay. They didn't want to come out their own pockets. And with the video package that they did for him in Revolution, it was fine. I didn't miss it. I didn't miss any of his highlights from WCW and such. I think it was fine. And at the same time, like Mike and I spoke earlier, maybe you could have done a trade or something. Do a system. Guys, it's a business. It's not being petty. Cut it out. Jesus, you guys want to argue over every shit. Congratulations to the new inductees of the WWE Hall of Fame so far. Just yesterday, we heard the announcement of the U.S. Express. Yeah, I'm that old. I remember that guy. Hey, fun fact, the U.S. Express, when they first debuted, they came out with Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA, and they also used Real American, Hogan's theme, because Hogan used to use Eye of the Tiger, and Vince was smart enough to change that and put the Real American and the Hogan as his theme music. The U.S. Express, Mike Rotundo and Barry Windham, they're both going in, and they are basically they are family, they're by marriage and such like that. But at the same time, also both are connected. One is the father of Bray Wyatt, and the other is the uncle. So that'll be nice, and to possibly get a tribute to them as well will be to him as well will be a great thing. One half of Proud and Powerful, Santana, is gone from AEW. So I kind of saw this coming. The young man wasn't happy with the company for quite some time. He'd been out on injury for a minute, I believe. They said since it was 2022. When he did return, he had a short feud with his former tag partner Ortiz, and then after that, he just disappeared. Right now, he's running the circuits. He is the House of Glory champion, and between you and me, he's their worst champion ever. I'm sorry, guys. I can't stand him being a champion. But hey, good luck to him. Some people are saying that will he be WWE bound? I don't think so. I think he's gonna like the indies for a little bit, maybe dip into some Japan stuff. He got built up. He got a physique going with him. And I would not be surprised if he made a return to TNA and started slaying it over there as a singles. That could be something there, but I don't know. We shall see. We'll report it here when we find out some stuff. Sammy Guevara suspended. Why? What? So apparently Sammy Guevara was suspended due in part to the match that he had with Jeff Hardy on Rampage. Apparently Hardy was concussed during the match, but the match continued, and Sammy continued his match and actually went to the top rope for a high-flying maneuver, even concussed Jeff even more. And Yeah, there's fan video footage of the Hardys being upset with Sammy in the ring and such. Why wasn't the referee suspended or involved in this? The ref he's the focal point. He's the ringmaster. He's the ringleader. He's the one that tells guys to take it home. He's the one that tells the other wrestler if somebody's injured. Why isn't the referee involved? You know, I tell you, if it's not one thing, it's another with this company, bro. Want to give a big shout out to the homie, our guy, Familia, the dude, the one and only Homicide for his 30 years in the business. He celebrated his 30th anniversary in wrestling this past week. This man has been tearing it up. Man, early days of Ring of Honor. I mean, like I said, I was watching him when he was doing block parties for my neighborhood. He was in the ring. He was a young kid doing shit with Pedro and his brother and his sons, Angel and Lewis. To see where he's come from to where he's at now, it's a great thing. He's Ring of Honor champ, TNA X Division champ, tag team champion. Been all over the world. The guy has made a long-lasting career in the business. He's the Logan of the business, and I know it's coming. The day is going to come soon enough where he's going to announce that retirement and he's going to walk up into the sunset. And it's going to be well deserved, man. He's doing a lot of stuff with NWA right now. Hopefully, he can get that company up and running and get that roster to be noticed more. To the masses, and hopefully we can see him do bigger and better things outside the ring. So shout out to the boy, Yo D. Much love, Familia, and congratulations for your 30 years, bro. Jim Ross signs a 1-year deal with AEW. So far, he's happy where he's at. He's good that he doesn't have an owner or a CEO in his ear and busting his balls all the time. I get it. And we would like to see Jim Ross come home, but apparently, that's not viable yet. But at the same time, he's got a good schedule going on where he comes in for big events, pay-per-views, certain matches that they would like him to call, and it's good, man. It's a good deal for him. Speaking of announcers, Kevin Kelly is no longer with AEW, and it seems as though he burnt the bridge on the way out. He's speaking about how Ian Riccaboni might have sabotaged his connection with the company, and also felt as though that the management was undercutting him as well. So it's going to be interesting. I already hear people clamoring to see if we could put Kevin Kelly on NXT. I don't know. I just think that he has a great voice for wrestling. He's been a great voice for some time, and I think that if he could come in and just either help other announcers get through it, commentators get through it, or be a part of a system that helps to progress a younger audience to understand the importance of commentary in wrestling, he'll be a great part wherever he goes, man. And we shall see. I believe he still has good connections with New Japan, but it would be nice to see him somewhere else. Anything else? Yeah, you know what? Let me just do this quickly because I could rant on this for days, and I haven't done a political commentary on this show in some time, and I'm trying to steer away from it because sometimes I go on a tangent. But this past week we saw just the ridiculousness and the ugliness of wrestling fandom when it comes to minorities in wrestling, which, by the way, excuse me, I want to make something clear to you guys as I sip my ginger ale. In case you don't know, the minority will be the majority soon enough. I'm just giving you a heads up, and it's not going to look pretty when you're going to be on the other side, and you're the ones that's going to be chastised, ridiculed, downplayed, made to feel, or try to make others feel less than themselves. it leads me to say this because we recently just saw comments about Bianca Belair on the cover of the WWE 2K24 video game, which, by the way, the covers look amazing. The Cody cover, Bianca and Rhea, and the WrestleMania 40 edition, they all look amazing. But that I have that one. I have the deluxe edition with Rhea and Bianca on the cover, and they look great on it. It's just the ugliness that our society still has to fucking deal with when it comes to race. It's like, are you serious? Are you kidding me? And no matter how much diversity is happening, and not only in wrestling, but in our social life and our society, people are still ugly when it comes to this. We see diversity even in commercials. I laugh because somebody had posted a meme where it says, well, say goodbye to white couples in commercials. And it's true. Like, everybody's mixed now, or, they have, alternative lifestyle commercials, and it's fucking great. That's what life is. Like, we're the only fucking country that you would think that we would be forward thinking, and we're still in our mindset stuck in like the 1950s. And I know it's not everybody, because I see, how progressive we can be and how we're moving forward. But at the same time, it's always that one step back that hurts us. And something like this, with Bianca being, just bashed for being a black woman on a cover of a video game. Beautiful woman inside and out. You could see that she has done everything in her power to, when she gets into that ring, to not only show that she's great in the ring for not only herself, but she could show others that you can be great too if you put your mind to it and put the effort forward. But for this society to still have these beliefs that, just because you're a black man or a black woman and you're being showcased and on a box for a video game or cereal or whatever it can be, it's disgusting that we still live in a world like this. It's a sad testament to us. And we really need to look at each other and figure out what's the next thing for us to do, because we can't move forward with us thinking backwards. It's just ridiculous. Well, it's not good when it's your boy, right? Seems as though that AEW is having some issues when it comes to creative. Story has it that looks like Tony Khan has been pulling events over there and changing creative last minute, not informing talent or what's happening. I guess they're afraid of things leaking out to the interwebs and having to deal with injury bugs and holding back angles and storylines for talent. Seems to be problematic over there. I remember when you guys used to goof on the WWE for that shit. It was like, yesterday you guys were doing that? Looks like the business is the business, huh? Shit happens. Plus, when you got talent who are, it's said that when they hear something that they're going through in booking and they say, I don't like this, and able to change it on the fly. That's not how you run a show. That's not how you produce a show. Sorry, guys. It's going to happen. People are not going to like their job. They're not going to like what to do. And sometimes you give, your 2 cents on what you could probably do to change that, or maybe move something along, or maybe tweak something so it works for the both parties. But at the end of the day, the boss is going to want what the boss is going to want. So like I mentioned earlier with the Miro stuff, you're getting guys lost in the shuffle. Creatively, it looks as though that it's not, it's all on all cylinders. They did bring in a new party to come in. Perryman she's come in to possibly help with the storylines and building. And we've heard that QT Marshall made a comeback and such as well. Maybe that will be a indication of possible change, but right now they're going on they're having the same creative bugs as well. It's gonna happen, guys. Somebody's gonna have to take balls and take the reins and say, listen, we gotta do, this is what we want, this is what we need to do, and you guys are gonna just have to do it. The roster's huge, man. I mentioned it before. They almost had 200 wrestlers, and you only got X amount of hours for shows, and it's not necessary. You don't even have, I mean, are you guys doing live events and such? You're not even doing that. That's another thing too. You don't even have a lot of live events that you're doing to help get these wrestlers' names out. Let them be seen, let them be heard, let the crowds be a part of it. Start doing smaller venues so that they could get a better understanding of these wrestlers and know who they are. And stop always thinking big. It's fine. You've made a name for yourself, overseas when you did All In over there. You did a great number for AEW Revolution. Of course, it was Sting's last match. But now, you got to start looking at what's the bigger picture now. You got to start working on getting those underutilized stars, get them in front of the camera, see how the crowd receives them and such. It's going to be a work. Right now, I'm thinking about putting together, I am compiling, since it always seems as though that people believe that I bash AEW. I'm compiling cutting a promo of what AEW is doing well, because there are stuff that I look at and I say, these guys actually still have that potential kind of movement going on if they would follow the ABCs of wrestling, but they're not. They want to be outrageous with it. So they want to go and look at it avant-garde, as they would say. But at the same time, there's still a structure that you could use to build up that fan base and get a broader audience, get a wider audience. But right now, creatively, you guys are in a rut. This past Dynamite, okay, it was a turn the page moment there. I kind of was with that. But then, what are we going to see next week? Are you guys going to be able to take it to the next level from what you did? Because sometimes you have those moments where you have a Dynamite that's like, wow, that was actually amazing that you had. And the following week, you'll get dud and another dud and then another dud. What are we going to do to continue that ride? But we shall see. And like I said, look forward to compiling that list that I have for cutting up promos, what AEW is doing right. We'll be doing that shortly as well. So yeah, this is going to wrap up cutting up wrestling rundown this week. Guys, also, just a heads up, two things coming up. I have, since our president had the State of the Union, it's around this time that I do Wrestling State of the Union for the podcast. I do it at least once a year. I do a State of the Union here, addressing my feelings of what's going on with wrestling these days, and how we moving forward, where we stuck at, what our constituents, our fellow wrestling fans need to do to help better this platform in which we watch and are entertained by. And we also are coming up on our 8th anniversary of Turnbuckle Tabloid. It's been 8 years since you guys have been part of this ride. And as always, I thank you guys for downloading and subscribing, be a part of the vibe, and share the word to everybody, man. Do big things out there. So we'll celebrate that as well. We'll keep you posted on when we'll be doing that as well. So guys, when we come back, we'll be talking to Jarren Walker, game tester for WWE 2K24. We had him on a couple of weeks ago before the embargo was lifted, and now the game is released, and Jarren would give us his thoughts and his feelings on what we are playing now. If you haven't gotten it yet, guys, go out there. I seriously recommend that you guys get this game. I'm telling you, we'll explain it. You'll hear it later on. So don't go anywhere. Stick around. Much to talk about. See you guys in a sec.
There you go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Jarren Walker here, aka Small Afro. Wait, let me start over.
No problem.
Wait, give me the thing again. I'm saying I'm listening to what?
Turnbuckle Tabloid.
Turnbuckle Tabloid. All right, bet. All right, ready? What's up, everybody? This is Jarren Walker, aka Small Afro, and you're listening to Turnbuckle Tabloid.
We're back to give you another segment of, I know, you, the listener, you enjoy this segment as much as I do, because this is why I try to bring it to you as often as I can. Because with us, we're pretty much on the same wavelength when it comes to Heel of the Week. Yes, my friends, this is the Heel of the Week. These are the three individuals who have done the dastardly things inside and outside of the ring. And I want to shine the spotlight on them so they don't feel like they weren't noticed on their dastardly deeds that they've done. Coming in the number 3 spot. Wow. Matt Riddle. You know, you don't ever cease to amaze me. Matt recently jumped on a podcast and had to mention the fact that, yeah, bro, I basically blew many drug tests, man, due to cocaine, man. Bro, literally, you did not have to do that. What was the point of actually? Why are we bragging about this? This does not benefit anybody. And if you're saying this as a public service announcement, you really didn't make it seem that way. On the number 2 spot, we just saw the retirement of Sting, and Ric Flair had to put his nose in it. That segment weeks before the final match that Sting had is just douche chills. If you didn't see it, you save yourself the trouble. Basically, he got into an altercation with the EVPs, and it just looked embarrassing the way that Rick was throwing punches. So much so that the social medias was just unkind to Rick and Rick, just go home. Go home. And finally, at the number 1 spot, we got, of course, why not, Vince McMahon? No, not for what you think. I mean, it's been rough for the past few months when we bring up Vince McMahon. But nope, this time it was for the firing of a writer of his years ago, a writer named Michael Leonardi, who initially joined WWE in 2001 and worked as an on-air promotion department until 2005. Then came back as a creative writer in 2015. And then he was dismissed from his position in 2016. Reason why? He was fired because of a segment that had to do with Pac, well, Neville at the time, running during Martin Luther King Day, in which Neville was to say during a promo equivalent to that he had a dream too. Yeah, Neville approached Leonardi and says, I don't feel comfortable saying this. And Leonardi said, you know what, you're right. Don't say it. Don't worry, I'll take the hit. And sure enough, he did. As of Leonardi's call, he let's just say that, you know, even Titus and R-Truth and Mark Henry weren't happy about this, and they're like, yeah, this is fucking terrible. He said after you know, the movement in which Neville didn't say the promo, Vince was staring at the screen. He takes his headphones on and turns to me and says, so you didn't give me what I wanted, huh? And he explained to him why he didn't and the circumstances around it, and he chewed him the fuck out. Yeah, Vince. Yeah. Sounds like you. And you know what? We've heard many stories like this before. Vince, you've sold a whole fucking boatload of shares of your company, and you're gonna die a wealthy man. But at the same time, somewhere along the line, your soul is gonna be burning somewhere, because you are a heel of the week. Oh God, I hope Martin Luther King hits you with a pile driver when you get to wherever. Nope, you'll be in hell. And nope.
the Knight Industries 2000, but you can call me Kit. When I am cruising the streets and fighting crime, I'm also listening to Turnbuckle Tabloid.
So I'm like ridiculously hyped right now because it's finally here. The moment has come, and I'm like a proud papa right now because my PS5 has now been blessed with the unveiling of the WWE 2K24. I think I get more hyped about this than any other game than I play these days. You know, I skip Madden. I don't play Madden every year. I don't play the 2K NBA 2K series, and this is probably the one consistent franchise that I tie into every year. All right. I'm gonna admit, I did go and buy 2K20. I did. I was one of those. Come on, Jarren. Did you not get it?
Oh no, I got it, but you know, it was also my job. You bought it willingly.
No, let's just say, but I did get the. You know, I had the. Well, it was with Edge, right? It had the whole Edge year. What was it? I think it was that one, and it came with like the apron or the piece of his fucking jacket, whatever. I knew it had something because I always get the deluxe shit.
I get what you mean, yeah.
And woof. That, by the way, did you play that as a tester? That was your first one?
No, I didn't start testing until 23. Actually,
okay.
I was mixed in with 2K like around when 22 came out, but because I think the pandemic was still like kind of like still there, we weren't able to like go to like an event or anything like that. But 23 was the one for me. You know, I didn't get the test one.
So wait a minute. So what do you mean you didn't buy 20?
No, I bought. I actually had to buy it twice. I bought it for the Xbox, and then I'll never forget. This is a true story. When I got my PS5, it was like November 2020, so the game had been out for a little while already. So I was like, all right, cool. Let me get the game for my PlayStation 5, so I can play it like that with viewers that have PlayStation. And I paid $60 for the regular version of the game because I'm not going to spend too much money on the deluxe thing. The deluxe was on sale, and I didn't realize it was on sale for $30. So I paid. I paid twice as much money for less game. I'll never forget. I'll never forget that.
Shit.
Oh yeah, for 2K20, for 2K20 of all games.
I was gonna actually post on the socials. I was gonna post the 2K20 because I have it like still in the box, like pristine. I think I maybe played it twice, if anything. And I was gonna post it. I was gonna
still have it in the box.
I still have it in the box. Matter of fact, I should show it right now while you guys chat. It was pristine and played it, put it back. I was like, not touching this shit anymore. I was going to show it on the socials. Got my 2K. Oh, I hope it's as good as everybody says it is. I was gonna like, yeah, about that. No. So go ahead, Mike. So I can run and get it quick. You had told me that you ready to go run out and get, well, not run out and get it, but ready to download your digitals now, right?
Yeah, I was telling you I'm getting it last minute. I'm ordering it tomorrow because on Friday it comes out. So I'm purchasing tomorrow. But yeah, so Jarren, you have early access to the game. So we're here to talk about, of course, WWE 2K24. We're here with Small Afro Games.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So let's get straight to it. Quick thoughts overall, because we're gonna go into everything. We're gonna talk about the DLC packs that could be released over the next couple of months. Maybe get into some controversy because there's a lot of people already complaining about the game already, with certain people kicked out for obvious reasons, but we'll get into that. But overall, Jarren, what do you think?
Honestly, what I would like to see is what they've done.
There's the box.
Oh wow!
Yep.
Wow.
That's I was gonna interject because that's the one with the with the Rock $500 shirt character.
That's right. Wow. Yeah. No. I'm sad that it's not a better game because you probably be able to sell it for more money.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be amazing? Like this would be something that you could actually like sell for, X amount
honestly,
of dollars
maybe in the future, considering how bad it was, it might end up being some kind of cult classic. And maybe if you have a pristine version, you never know. The weirdest things become valuable as time goes
classic.
On. Absolutely. You know what I mean? But 2K24, I'm having honestly a lot of fun with it, and I feel like I've had that mentality every year, but this year's been a little different just because I feel like a lot of the stuff that people have asked for were finally kind of recognized, acknowledged, and answered a little bit, like the special guest referee thing and everything like that. I'm really enjoying the My Rai story. I'm maybe like halfway through it. And the showcase, for what it's worth, I mean, it's kind of the same thing every year, but it's fun. The WrestleMania thing, it's fun to relive all those WrestleMania and get the new arenas and stuff like that. I'm having a lot of fun with this. I think this is probably the most into a 2K game I've been since like maybe 19. Because there's still a lot of stuff I haven't done yet that I'm still rating it. Like I'm incentivized to play my faction this year because you can unlock people to actually play within the regular game through that mode. I've never even touched my faction a day in my life, but now I probably will. So,
I said the same thing. This is going to probably be the most intense that I've been with a 2K game since, like you said, maybe 19 and even early on. That I really wanted to get into the intricacies of all the modes and such. The My Faction is definitely now on my radar to get into. The showcase. I like to go through each one bit by bit because, like I mentioned earlier, I'm waiting for creations to come out so I can start setting up my universe. They already have people who already said that my universe is still stuck on the same ways. You have to reset it. You have to reprogram it. Clear everything out. There's videos on YouTube that show you to make it like the My Universe that will actually work properly. So I'm actually excited to do that. But that's a task for me that I take like seriously. So it takes me like months to get there for that. So, but sure. When the embargo was lifted and you was able to discuss and get more into it, when was it that you were able to actually get your whole hands on the full game?
The full game? Oh man, it was February, like I want to say 2-3 weeks ago.
Right.
It was the SmackDown where The Rock came back for the first time.
Okay.
Yeah, it was that same day. I was able to play the full game there. I was pretty positive about it then. I was surprised on how like much more, because when the last time we spoke, I had played a very limited build of it, and I was like, okay, well, I mean, it's cool, but let me play the full build still. Full build surprised me because there was still a lot of stuff that I had not previously seen, like certain characters that are in the game, the way the modes work, like the special guest referee match, stuff like that. It's been cool so far.
Was there any noticeable differences when you played the full game compared to the demo?
Well, yeah, because I mean, in the demo we had like 20 people that we were able to like play with. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, at some point it just kind of gets to be the same thing over and over again, especially because it was a one-on-one match, like a 10-man rumble and an ambulance match. That was the only 3 things we could play for the entire thing. So it was kind of like, I got bored after a while. I mean, I'm sure probably everybody did in that room, but there are so much you can do now. Like, I mean, adding the casket match, the special guest referee thing. And the AI, let me say something about the AI. The legend difficulty is genuinely very difficult. I don't think I've ever really had like a rough time over the years with legend difficulty. This year, I want to rip my hair out sometimes. So that's one of the biggest things for me. The AI being smart. So like legend difficulty should be hard. You know what I mean? Like no matter how good you are, you should have a difficult time playing it, and I do. So which is good. It's a good thing.
I first of all, I was telling Mike before we went on, like it was such a pain in the ass for me to get the full the full hard copy of it because GameStop was giving me some bullshit. GameStop it used to be so reliable to me. What the fuck happened to you people?
Shout out to you who still go to GameStop and pick up the physical copies.
Yeah, that's nuts. I can't even imagine.
Having to do that. You know what it is? Because I'm a collector, and like, in case you haven't noticed, but like I'm a collector, and I used to be.
So is Jarren. Look at his background.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there.
But
what do I have? I have my little gimmick shirt.
Hey, dude, hell yeah, brother, hell yeah.
But I also like to, especially when it comes to certain games and certain franchises, I like to keep them close and like I say, this is my stack here, and like I said, I even have my my 2K games for my 360 they're still around.
Jesus.
But you know, like I said, my love-hate relationship with games. So finally I got to start getting into the game. Like right now I'm getting into the PC mode, the you know, performance center mode, because you know, you get an achievement for it anyway, but you still want to get a feel for it. And the first thing that I was recognizing and looking at was the look of the game itself, the graphics, the colors. I thought when you look at a lot of the wrestlers that's there, it's gotten such a vast improvement. Like you saw that a lot of the wrestlers are more detailed. There's more intricacies with their gear. You could see a lot of better movement with them, and inside, outside the ring. There's a lot that's going on there on the surface to where they just did it wasn't just a brush, you know, an airbrush. They actually went in and they looked and did some work on it.
Yeah.
No, I absolutely agree. I mean, facial expressions have always been kind of a big thing especially a game like this where you have to show pain, you know, or show excitement or something like that. That was a big thing I feel like I've noticed. I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't even think about that. Like even like to go like the Fiend's match, like it has facial expression. Like it's great. Like it's crazy to see. I didn't even think about that when you mentioned it, but that's absolutely something that they worked on. And it's cool to see. It's very cool.
The other things that I wanted you to like go into a little bit was they didn't shy away too much with the controls, but there is more of a mechanic with the controls that feel a little bit more of a simulation kind than rather just a pick up an arcade game. Is there anything that you saw and felt that was different about the game?
Well, I mean, just like the new additions, like the trading blows thing. I don't know if you've experienced that yet, where it's like how chain wrestling used to be, but instead it's like kind of like one guy punches, you know, somebody, then it's kind of back and forth, like the Yabu spot. That's cool. You know what I mean? And I just feel like it's smoother. Like the animations are like they go into each other better. You know what I mean? Like you'll see in previous installments, somebody would go for a move and you try to like, you know, you get out of the way and try to hit him with something and it'll just like do nothing, or you'll go right through him or something like that. I think this year it's more like anything could happen. It's less predictable. Like you can do something at a random time and like something will happen. You know what I mean? You get what I'm trying to say? Like, it's smooth. It's smooth. I've noticed that a lot. With a lot of the animations, it just seems like, because what I've noticed that they've done since the new build for 2K22 is like they just built on it. They've kept that and they've just added more and more stuff to it. And I think this year was a big deal because it hasn't felt like this in a while. And again, it's weird because you don't know exactly, like you can't put your tongue on exactly what it is, but it's smooth. It's very smooth.
Yeah, with all the accoutrements that they've added to the game, like one of the biggest things that I saw that actually like tickled my fancy was, you know, when you throw a wrestler to the ropes from your knees. I was like, that's fucking cool. I was like, that is actually fucking cool.
No, that's very cool.
I wanted to get your thoughts as well as well. We spoke earlier about the modes. You know, we spoke about, you know, showcase, you know, how, you know, the My Rise, which, the My Rise from what you've been playing so far, better than last year, more investing that you can be with your character now.
The only complaint I really have about the men's story, I haven't tapped into the women's story yet, but the men's story, you kind of know where it's going. Like, you know what your last match pretty much is going to be, and you know at what point in your character story that's going to happen at. But that predictability isn't necessarily a bad thing for anything. It's just kind of like how you get there, and if it's, you know, good on the way there. That goes for anything, games, wrestling itself, you know, stuff like that. But the actual things that you're doing in between, it's fun because it's not just like I feel like a lot of the other My Rises have been you get in a match and then you get in another match and then you just do another match. Now it's like actual cutscenes and stories, and you're progressing your, you know, character development. And I feel like you haven't seen that too much before. It's kind of just been, okay, well, this is a guy and he's doing this and the game's over. Now it's like, okay, well, you're building yourself up from this moment to this moment, and all this stuff happens in between. Different match types, they incorporate some of the new stuff in there, and they add, you know, just a bunch of other stipulations other than just normal one-on-ones and tag matches, which gets boring very quickly. So I'm having fun with it so far. I'm waiting. I'm like halfway through now, and I'm pretty sure I know how it's going to end. But that's
you don't miss the lock, Mike. Are you going to miss the lock?
Not really, but I will say this about the Myrai stuff, because I did watch a lot of the female stuff. I will say the female story is much more interesting than the men's, because when the men's one was revealed, it's like basically for all of us Cody fans, this is just triggering all of us, because God only help us what happens at WrestleMania. But yeah, the men's one just feels too predictable. But at least with the women's ones, the women one, that one looks so like crazy, unpredictable, and a lot of really video game ass shit that's going to happen without going into spoilers. And like I said, I agree with you, Jared, about the men, because you know where it's going at the end. You know who the final boss is. At least for the women, it's too unpredictable. I will also add for the gameplay, where prior to 22, when the complete game engine was with like the 3 reversals and all, like storing up 3 finishes, that type. When they changed it all, I was very skeptical, but not for nothing. The last 3 years, it's probably been the most fun I've had playing the WWE games dating back to like the SVR days.
Sure. No, I get that. And it looks good. It looks good now too, especially. I mean, just having fun with it, and also the graphics being insane, especially after having 2K20. It's been a breath of fresh air lately, for sure. And going back to your Myrise point, last year I thought the women's was better than the men's. Last year. I don't know if it's that way this year. Again, I haven't even really seen anything from it. So, I mean, from
what I've seen, it looks like it's a repeat of, again, the issue with the women's being better than the men's.
I think it's the same person that does the women's Myrise stories. And listen, if she had a banger last year, I don't see why it'd be any different this year. So.
And I appreciate too that they bring back the old characters too. Like they keep bringing back Cole Quinn back from like 2K19.
Sure. They do a couple callbacks to last year's story too. At least what I saw on the men's one. Yeah. You see a couple people from last year's story. But yeah, no, it's cool that they.
You don't see anybody from 20. They really try to ignore that one.
Yeah, I myself try to ignore that one. So
another mode that I was trying to dance around with and play with a little bit last year, but I really couldn't get into it so much, which is my GM. Mm-hmm. And this year, that's now,
my favorite mode.
They've opened it up a little bit more, and I'm interested in what they have going on there, especially now with the addition of ECW, and there's more potential match types and such in there. Mike, what we heard on the spectrum about what's going on there?
Well, for my GM, the big thing this year is that now you can do trades, and I like how they did it too, where they give you like 5 attempts at trades, or at least that's how I'm interpreting it, where you try and make a trade, but if you get like it doesn't like automatically accept it. It's the like Jared was mentioning about the AI. Depending on the AI, it's going to be very difficult to do trades unless you're playing with like friends or anything like that, as far as I could tell. And then with the GMs, a lot more options too. Like Heyman's an option. The Ted DiBiase, William Regal's back in as an option. Teddy Long is as an option. It's all fun. It's all just a great mode, honestly. That they brought that back.
I love
because that was the one thing in the SVR ones when you did season mode and you draft your own rosters. Now it's fun. Now this year you can do Raw, SmackDown, WCW, and ECW. I will say for ECW, it's very funny that like last year they didn't make a custom women's belt, but like in ECW they didn't have a women's division. So if you do ECW, you will have that handicap of not being able to book women's matches or at least do women's championship matches. That's what I think, at least, or have seen.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Jarren, are you going to be getting into GM this year?
So I played it like once last year. I was really into it in 2K22. I think just the only thing that stopped me from doing it in 23 was just kind of like the same thing. You know what I mean? Like it was more or less the same thing they added. You could do it with 4 people now rather than 2, whatever. I'm waiting for it to get to online because it's cool to play against a computer, but it's going to be really cool to play against somebody else. And mind you, can do that like with somebody, you know, in real life. But I mean, it's so much easier to just link up with somebody online and get that done. You know what I mean? So I feel I'm not a game developer. I don't know how hard it would be to do something like that, but I hope that we see that soon because I feel like that was something that was promised as well not that long ago. I feel like that's something that they were talking about, and it never happened. So,
in what aspect are you saying?
What do you like online from IGN?
Oh, okay, that's what.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna, Jerry. I always wanted to, I've always seen that with, like the NBA and the NBA 2K servers, for pretty much they are on the level. Like I don't hear a lot of gamers have any issues with it. Have you heard what's the big reason why WWE's 2K servers don't really run that well? Is it because is it more massive? Is it there's more to it when it comes specs wise? Like, is there any reason why they've always have issues with their servers?
So I specifically asked about this recently because I'm the online guy. I'm the one that I play online all the time. And it happened almost every match last year. It was very hard to get a video out just because of how many times the game crashed. This year I was like, hey, listen, because when you test the game, like I can't play online because who am I going to play against? You know what I mean? Like there's nobody there. So I was like, listen, like last year they had a lot of crashing, and the answer that I got, whether or not you want to accept it or not, the answer I got was that whenever something like that does happen, whenever a crash does happen, there could be a zillion different variables into why it happened. So like, okay, well, this match crashed, but which means you can't use this person on this arena and do this move. They're saying it's hard to track what specific things it makes that happen because it could be a lot of things, and then they're going to have to fix every single one of those different variables. Mm-hmm. And that answer made sense to me, but also at the same time, like every game has an online mode. You know what I mean? Like every game. And it wasn't an issue to this extent anytime before 2K23. So the fact that it's doing that this year is kind of discouraging because, I was hoping that once the new game came out, it'd be a little better. It's still playable. It's just, you kind of run the same risk as you were last year, which is, it's disheartening a little bit. But that was the answer I got. So, I'm just going to have to take that for what it is.
And it was always random. It was always random last year. You would hit it like a finisher and you're about to win the match, and all of a sudden, like your screen would freeze, and then you get kicked out of the lobby, and you have no clue what the hell just happened.
Well, the main thing
too many times as well.
Sure. No, the main thing that happened last year to make that happen was Irish whips. You do an Irish whip, and like there was a 50-50 chance that the game would just crash. And which is the most basic wrestling move in the history of professional wrestling. You can't do it, which is annoying. And I mentioned that as well. I was like, listen, it was like mainly this, and I kind of got the same answer. It was just kind of, well, yeah, you could do Irish whip from this character on this arena, and then it'll do that. Whatever. I don't know. And it's annoying. It's very annoying.
Well, we spoke about like the My Faction, and like I said, this is going to be one for me that's I'm intrigued with, because now, like we mentioned earlier, that the unlockables that's going to be available. Mike and I, before before the mics went on, we were discussing the DLCs, in which Mike will go into in a little bit. But there's a gap that's in that area. So before I go into that, Mike, what the DLCs we have like that's going to be upcoming?
So as far as what 2K's been doing, I love what they've been doing. It's been 5 packs for the last couple of years, and we're gonna go through the dates. But as far as the first pack is called the ECW Punk Pack, which will be released in May, which includes CM Punk, Bubba Ray Dudley, Devon Dudley, Terry Funk, and this name popped out the most to me in this one, the Sandman.
Hacky!
Which I didn't like. Also, a quick little question too. Like, these guys have to like. I at least understand what Terry Funk. He died this past year. It's a tribute for him. But do you think like the Sandman's like on a Legends deal? Like he had to sign some type of contract to use his likeness.
100%. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's necessarily a specific WWE thing. I mean, it has to be some.
Because I remember the Dudleys. Yeah. It was reported that they signed a Legends deal, and Bully Ray's doing Impact right now.
So that is a great point. So yeah, WWE and Impact have kind of been working together little by little lately. They're kind of more open to doing stuff with each other. Yeah, Sandman, that's interesting. Maybe I can't imagine Sandman signing a contract, but
it doesn't matter, brother. All it does for me is just make sure I get to party and get more coke. That's all that matters to me, baby. Just bring Hacky more coke, baby.
His entrance better be through the crowd.
The only thing
Yeah,
is that
don't expect Enter Sandman. Don't expect that.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you play it on Spotify, you're not gonna get Enter Sandman. But no, I
you know
thought,
what? I wouldn't be surprised.
I thought it was more shocking that Punk pack was gonna come out this early. That's the one that I said. I said, damn.
I mean, Punk was the most requested guy.
I get it, but I thought they were gonna have everybody at their church praying that it came this soon, but apparently it came before they even got to the church.
They were asking God, and God's like, "I got you already."
Yeah, yo, fam, I got you, dog. Don't worry about it. Punk is gonna be there.
So that was the pack. That's the pack that's coming out May. For June. Post Malone and Friends pack. Post Malone, Sensational Sherry, Headbanger Mosh, Headbanger Thrasher, the Honky Tonk Man, and Jimmy Hart as a manager.
That's a weird pack, but
just the first name Malone. Post Malone.
It's a weird pack, but I'm okay with because Sherry's there. That's a beautiful
like
to
that
acknowledge that. Honky,
the Headbangers,
the headbang, everything there is like it's cool. You get Jimmy there as well. Shout out to Jimmy. Jimmy's 80 years old. That man climbs in and out of the ring like if he's still in his 30s and 40s. It's astonishing. But this
is a very musical pack. I
guess, yeah. Because Sherry sings "Sexy Boy," so yeah,
the Headbangers and then the Honky Tonk Man.
Yeah, that seems like it's a fun pack. Sometimes people get those lulls. We saw them in previous years where they had those lull DLCs. They were like, okay, I guess, but
Doink the Clown.
The lull DLC is coming. Okay, read the next one. That's my lull.
Pat McAfee show pack in July. Pat McAfee, and then we have a lot of questions about this. Playable co-host. What in the living fuck does that mean?
I'm pretty sure they mentioned it on Raw. I think it's Pat McAfee's co-host on his show that you get to play as.
Are you serious?
Which is like, who cares?
That's his face.
But I actually thought it was gonna go another
way. No, it was like
way.
Michael Cole, Corey Graves, Byron Saxton.
Those types of I actually thought it was gonna go that way. I actually thought it was gonna be that you'll get those guys. You get Michael Cole with his NCAA Syracuse gimmick look.
Yeah.
You get
old school Corey Graves
like that.
I think they would have just announced that if it was going to be them. I think it's literally just his show code.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure they confirmed that on Raw too. I think.
Yeah, you're right. That most likely will be the Who Gives a Fuck pack. But since now I have the season pass, I guess I'll be downloading.
I mean, let's be real here. Pat McAfee, what we've seen from him in the ring, what we've said they're going to give him, he's going to be like the best character in the game.
I mean, I don't mind having Pat McAfee in there, but who the hell is going to play his
playable co-host? Now I have to Google all these people on this show.
I'm just going to be excited to have a Pat McAfee Logan Paul match. I'm cool with that shit.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. I get that.
I'll do that. What's the next one we got?
In August of this year, I was about to say the year, meanwhile, all this shit's coming out this year. In August, the Global Superstars pack. Now, this has the most characters out of every pack this year. Jade Cargill, Nia Jax, Michelle McCool, Carlito, Kairi Sane, Lyra Valkyria, and Dragon Lee. This pack makes the most sense.
Why didn't we just switch that? You could have put that one out before the co-host pack. That would have been. I'd have took the low on a later date.
I'd rather play Carlito first than Pat McAfee.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd rather just not have that DLC at all. But I mean, listen, Jade Cargill, that's going to be fire to play as her. She hasn't even had a match yet, really, besides the Rumble. I'm looking forward to playing as her for sure.
But now, is this where we get the gap? Because I wanted to ask Jarren about this. There's a gap that happens between August
and
November. What's your speculation that's going on there? Why there's such a big gap there?
Which one's the November? Can you read the names of the November one?
The November one is titled the WCW pack,
which is the SummerSlam, the Survivor Series time.
Yeah, this includes DDP, the Iron Sheik, Mr. Perfect, Lex Luger, and I'm looking forward to this one, the Great Muta.
My assumption is that they want to just stretch out the game's life cycle more. And I think the way to do that is by doing DLCs like later on in the year, because once like July comes and like the last DLC comes out, everyone stops playing the game and no one really has anything to look forward to anymore, and they just stop playing it, and then everything kind of decreases in terms of playtime and people watching content and stuff like that. So I think them prolonging the DLCs till November is going to make the game feel fresh all the time because they're always adding stuff to it. I think I personally like that, but that is a big gap for sure.
Not gonna lie, after they released the signers and hit Roll Pack, I downloaded it and then waited a month until the next one because I was like, yeah, no, I'm waiting for the next pack.
Well,
that's fair.
I'm thinking that this is the time between that gap there, you know, because you have SummerSlam there, you have the other PLEs that's involved there. That this is going to be their time where they're really going to push the My Factions, where there's going to be a lot of content coming out on My Factions. I'm believing that this is going to be them to push out a lot of new gear, new gimmick looks, possibly entrances and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Free updates, I think, has been the benefit for 2K the last couple of years, too. Because remember, I think it was 22 where they had the My Rise, like the exclusive characters. Like, you had Dominic Dijakovic, like regular Nakamura, because he had the King gimmick in the game, Baron Corbin. Like, they had those types of gimmicks. I do think, I would like to see, like a My Rise update where you can play as like your Cole Quinns or like Justina's, like those types of characters that you've been playing against in the mode be available. And then I want to just bring this up too, because like I said, controversy, because there are two characters that got physically removed from the game but technically are still in the game, is Brock Lesnar and Vince McMahon.
Why did they take them out?
Jay, have you been? Yeah.
Jared, did you get to play? Did you get to play as them before they scratched them out?
They went in the demo.
No, I never played as either of them. You do play as Brock in the showcase twice,
which is the weird thing.
Yeah,
that he's still playable. Technically,
yeah. It's I guess it's kind of hard to like take out the stuff that they added to it just like before, which I get, but
my controversial take, I say just you should have kept them in because. Honest to God, when 22 came out, Jay, when we went through the roster list, half the list was the people that got released during the pandemic.
Right.
Like they kept those people in the game because not for nothing in the story mode they were popping up like nothing. They were just like all over the place. Now I understand with the Vince McMahon thing, it's horrible what he's been accused of and what he's going to be going away for. But if the game was about to come out, like it's about the timing too. It just came. Like all the stuff just broke in the new year, and then they announced, 2K24 is coming out in 2 months. The developers are probably like, "Oh shit! Like we have to find a way to get rid of this now.
Yeah,
put it behind a wall now because Brock Lesnar is like he's still physically in the game. You just can't unlock him anymore. He's not available.
Well, you could always get him from You could always get him from creations. It's not like you can't get anything else. You get tits there. They show fucking. They have
yeah. I've noticed that a lot. That's weird.
Hackers are that's the first thing they're gonna do. They're gonna put Brock back in the game.
Before I go to the creations, I want to go back to, like I said, my favorite mode. And Jared, I want your thoughts about this. Is the universe mode, and like I said, they're still on the older templates of the universe mode, and they have yet to really change up the whole dynamic of it. Although they've added new cutscenes, new rivalries, enhancements and such like that, but they're still sitting on that same template. Players who are really into it know now on how to change the universe mode up to make it run more fluidly. But it's like, why do we have to do this? Is this a time kind of basing thing that you believe that they're doing, that they're fixing up My Faction to make it a little bit better? They're fixing up the My Rises. So like maybe down the line, maybe next year, My Universe will be the bigger and better mode that people will start going to.
I hope so. I also think maybe they're prioritizing the modes that people might play more or that might profit the company the most. Universe mode's kind of just like there for certain people. And also people use Universe for like different things. Like the way I use universe mode, I haven't even really noticed like there would need to be something fixed, to be honest with you. So it's just people do different things with it. Go ahead, tell me.
No, because Jay's like looking for big information on the mode, and you just
no. It's not
it's the same thing.
No. What I'm saying about is that there's certain things like, I just as they do with my GM, like there's something that Universe Mode can have, like for ratings, star ratings or whatever, or even make it even more open to finally say, make my universe an online mode, like make that happen, make that more interactive, have something like that go on. But it's like
I guess at the end of the day, that's really the main thing for
probably
2K games is like more online, like to play. Like if you and me want to do universe mode together, we could do it online.
That would be dope. That'd be dope.
Yeah,
I'd love that.
and I would love to see that. People online will be able to customize and have their own promotions, have their own shows running, and you could see, you could check in day by day, week by week, of what shows have been, people are doing, and having more open, playable kind of fed going on online. It's that's why I said it. We go back to what I mentioned earlier. Got to get the servers up and running to make it, to make it run solidly. Speaking of that, I've already been seeing that there's people are already exposing the glitches. I know they released the day one patch, a lot of stuff that they tried to tweak early on. Anybody seen any big glitch issues? The only one that I saw that made me laugh was that during the ambulance match that the ambulance actually went into the ramp. Like it did.
Was that a women's match that happened in?
I believe so.
I think I saw that clip. Yeah. That's honestly the only one I've seen.
Shout out to New Legacy Inc. because they're the one that find the glitches the most.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
No, I can't believe it. No, Johnny's the GOAT, bro. Johnny's awesome.
Yeah, I know he did like the Elimination Chamber simulation. Like he did some of the matches over there, and Damian Priest is like stuck in the entrance ramp, like looking like a horse. His like body's like all just morphed and everything, and then it's just like. It comes with. It's always so funny with the glitches.
I never really experienced bad glitches. I don't remember having those issues. Maybe in 2K.
The game developers apparently love it when you find the glitches. Yeah, then they can make like that's new.
Yeah, but I've never really found the only glitch that I really had is that when the game drops out on me and that's it. And it says the whole report an issue kind of thing. That's the only real issue that I get sometimes. Other than that, I never really get to see somebody disappearing from a match or.
I saw a clip of Jimmy Uso on the announce table flying up in the air.
Sometimes, like last year, I used to see stuff like maybe you start running and you never stop running, like you just keep doing.
You run into the wall.
Yeah, and like somebody's got to like break that up, or maybe like somebody's like stuck inside the elimination chamber like this, and like they're walking across the wall like that.
I feel like the mechanic where you're throwing the weapons at the opponent, that's going to be a major glitch because you got to throw like a Slim Jim, somebody's head's going to get stuck in the head for the rest of the match.
Oh, I can't wait for that to happen. That'd be awesome. Slim Jim in the head, hell yeah.
Finally, Jerry, I want your thoughts on are you a big creator? Or do you do a lot of creations and stuff like that?
For characters, no, I do. I mean, I do make the stuff that I use myself. I don't really like try to post stuff for other people or try to make like recreate characters. But like for like the guy that I'm using in my Rise, yeah, like I went through the whole like creation tree stuff.
Did you see? Were you able to put together the signs and all that? I thought that was actually pretty cool that you could create a sign this year.
That is very cool. I actually saw somebody else do that the other day. I didn't do it myself, but I saw you could put your own logo on it. You can choose like what pattern you want to be in the background. You could do like a transparent logo on it. They, again, like, another new feature. I appreciate that. I haven't used it yet. Maybe that's like foul of me to like be like, hey, cool new stuff, and then never use it. But no, it's definitely cool, and it's something that people are probably gonna go crazy with in community creation. They're probably going to write some crazy stuff. It's going to be interesting to watch.
How's the guest referee going?
Oh, I love guest referee. I think the only thing the complaint about that I have is that you can't do it outside of a one-on-one match. It's only in a one-on-one.
Right.
But it's fun. I think it's more fun to do it online. I feel like doing it in an exhibition match against like computers is like, okay, well, whatever. But like, because like, okay.
You're just waiting for them to do whatever the fuck they're going to do.
Right, exactly. But online, you get to actually like mess with people, or like even if you play with friends, you get to mess with them. It's cool when you do it with another human being. That's always kind of been the case for special guest referee. But yeah, I do wish it was in more modes, but the freedom you get, because you can even turn the meter off, because they have a meter to, if you abuse your power too much, you get ejected. You can turn it off. So that's refreshing to see. That's honestly been probably my favorite mode in a 2K game in a while. I'm glad they brought that back.
I want to bring up, because the big selling mode for this, I think this is probably the last thing we'll cover, is the 40 years of WrestleMania mode. As far as like the matches, I think this year they did a pretty good job, because when they announced this, I immediately remembered when they did, I think it was 2K14 when they did 30 years, and there was pretty much a match from every WrestleMania. This year they decided to cut some matches. Is there any matches that you noticed that you wished you could have play as? And then also we'll talk about the matches itself, but like any matches you think got cut that you think they should have added.
I think regardless of how boring it was, WrestleMania 1, something from WrestleMania 1 should have been in there. 100%. I think it's ridiculous that you during a 40 years one, you don't do the first Mania.
They have Muhammad Ali in the game, and they don't have the tag match. Well, I guess because you said the special referee, you can't do tags.
Yeah. I mean, they have. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, because the other one I'm thinking in the showcase, it's a 1-on-1 match. That should have been in there. Something for Mania 1. Michaels Austin for Mania 14 is not in there. I guess maybe the Mike Tyson thing. He's not using his likeness for the game. I get it.
Or Enforcer. Whatever they call it. 2K14.
Yeah. Rock Hogan's not in it, which is interesting to me. I think that is something that should have maybe been in there. I mean, out of any Hogan match, I think that one's probably the coolest one, or something that we haven't seen too much of, in the games. Cena Rock for Mania 28 is not in there. I think that's insane. And the same thing with Triple H and The Undertaker and Hell in a Cell from that same Mania. Don't know how that got omitted, but everything else I think is fitting. Maybe no, never mind. I was gonna say Kobe Kingston, Daniel Bryan, but Daniel Bryan can't be. It sucks because there's a lot of people that are doing other things now that can't be in the game when they have like some of the biggest Mania moments ever. But I think they worked with what they had. But those matches I named specifically, I don't know why they weren't in there.
I like the Firefly Funhouse one is the most interesting pick that they did.
Yeah, I'm about to get that one. I think I'm 2 matches away from that one in the showcase myself. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to play it.
I will say I'm sorry. I just need to say, because the one thing I'll say about the 2K showcase, and I noticed it last year and this year, a lot of cutscenes, and it's not a lot of you just playing them out. I don't want to try and spoil it for the Funhouse, but basically, it feels like I'm watching the match on Peacock. Where like you just where it's like, let me play it out. Let me play step by step into Irish Whip, and then it goes into a cutscene. That's the annoying part I would say.
Man, let me tell you something. The Hogan Warrior match that you play, they do a cutscene. They do a cutscene where it's like a 5-minute double down spot, and then I think when that cutscene ends, they make you do one Irish Whip. That's it. And then there's another cutscene of like a 6-minute bear hug that Warrior's giving them. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw that. I freaked out. I did it this morning. Oh, I was on the floor, brother. I can't. That's what got to me. Everything else has been okay, but sometimes they'll make you do one move and then you go right into another cutscene. That's kind of annoying.
But I kind of like, before we start closing out, I like the little subtle things that they do, especially like when I mentioned like the creative stuff. There's certain subtle things that, like we mentioned, there's certain people that shouldn't be in the game, but they can be created and they're in the game. Like I saw that the cleaners entrance is in the game. They had Kenny Omega's entrance in the game.
Jacob Fatu's entrance is in the game.
Jacob Fatu's entrance in the game. So it's like, little things in there, maybe little breadcrumbs, little something that's there. I like when they do that. And I get it. I get excited because sometimes I'll go in a create mode and I'll go through those entrances or their signatures and stuff like that. And I go, oh, how did you get that in there? Interesting.
I think the Rainmaker is called like the 7-star Lariat or something like
that. Yes,
it
is.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Dave Meltzer.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. But
and the Jacob Fatu one, it's labeled under Samoan Werewolf.
Samoan Werewolf.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But Jared, thanks for your time, man, as always, man. And we got to get you back in, but not to talk 2K. We're gonna talk wrestling with you when you come back next time.
I'm absolutely down.
Let everybody know they can get you and where we can follow you at, brother.
Listen, the only thing I'm gonna shout out, we're gonna get to 50,000 subscribers on the Small Afro channel very soon. So stay tuned, subscribe to that channel, and you're not gonna miss out on the goodness I'm about to give to you. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Thanks a lot, bro. And man, as always, guys. Turnbuckle Tabloid, as Jared he likes it's New York's purest wrestling podcast. As he likes. I'm glad somebody mentioned that tagline. And as always, much to come, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stick around. Got much to talk about. See you guys in a second.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.